Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Bang, 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 bang.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Time check. It's 19 minutes past the hour of 6 o'clock, and you're listening to the Ground Report. Hey, Elizabeth, a pleasant good morning to you. Ann Moon Sammy, good morning. Trini Nairo, good morning to you. Carmen. Matilda Rhodes, a pleasant good morning to you.
God is with us, and what can stand?
Desmond Hines, good morning.
And if our God is for us,
hey, Jama, Sipasad, a pleasant good morning to you. Gloria Escala, a pleasant good morning.
What can stand again?
George Williams, good morning. Margaret, good morning to you. Natasha. Hashim Mohammed, a pleasant good morning to you. 007, good morning to you. Primraj, good morning to you. Nita. Ramla, that is, Ann Jackman, a pleasant good morning to you. Pal Roop, how are you going, my brother? How them bad dogs? Damian Anton, Vincent, good morning. Rick, good morning to you, Rick. Joanne. Good morning. Davika Balkran, good morning to you. Naz Ali and Mr. Ali, a pleasant good morning to you. I am Mr. Ali Losi phone. Esther Smith, good morning. Zebrangani, a pleasant good morning to you.
And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what can stand against? And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what can stand against? Stand against.
Where's that Tyrone Passad? Babwandi? Oh boy, oh boy. Good morning to you. Roll. Yes, Lachman Posada, pleasant good morning. Hey, Narisha, pleasant good morning.
Water you turned into wine.
Matilda Rhodes, good morning to you.
Open
Rick Lachman, good morning.
of the blind
Ryan Ali John, a pleasant good morning to you.
like you.
Kabul, how we going, partner? Do that, Mohan. How we going down there? How thing do that? Grace Caesar, good morning.
Into the darkness you shine.
Shirley, good morning to you.
The ashes we rise. There's no one like
And Shireen. Shireen Lee, good morning. Mina Steiner, good morning to you.
our God is greater.
Shahid Mohammed, good morning.
God, you are higher than it.
All Margarets, good morning. Atlee Kato, good morning. Davey, good morning. Troy Smith, good morning. Diane Lewis, good morning to you. Angela, good morning. Ravi, aka Postman.com. His father, all of them that are locked on to Vic, all of you. Sister, everybody, a pleasant good morning to you all.
Into the darkness you shine.
Hey, Annette, a pleasant good morning to you.
Of the ashes,
Jennifer, Ramjet, good morning.
there's no one like you. None like
Taradat, Ram Sarup, good morning to you. Hafrina Mohammed, a pleasant good morning to you. Troy Smith, good morning.
our God is strong.
Karen, good morning to you. Janice, Andrews, Alfred, good morning. How are you going?
Our God,
I ain't see you a while, man.
awesome in power. Our God,
Hey, Rishi, good morning. Nadira, how are you going, Nadira? Pleasant good morning to you.
our God is
Radical, good morning.
our God is stronger. God, you are
Hema,
higher than any.
Malu, good morning.
Our God is healer. Awesome in
Richard Chamaraj, a pleasant good morning to you. Shan Rampasad, good morning. Hey, Pamela Palu, a pleasant good morning to you. Madonna. Yeah, Madonna Roberts. Whoa.
for us.
You really look like Madonna, boy.
Never stop us.
A Trini Bayesian or what? What are we doing?
And what can stand against? And if we're
Bang,
not
bang, 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 bang.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox
what
Smith.
can stand against? Stand against.
Hey, Cortland. Good morning to you.
Our God is greater. Our God is stronger.
Hey, Denise. Good morning.
Higher than any other. Our God is healer. Awesome in
Yes, Madonna Roberts.
God.
Good morning. Morning.
Our God is greater.
I know that not our next person using Madonna Roberts to jump back in to get trouble in. Nah, but that person used to pop pitiya.
Our God is healer.
Madonna have a pop pitiya, man.
Awesome.
She head spread out. She hair spread out like Madonna. The only thing now is to start to move.
Our God. And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what can stand against?
Last night I dreamt of San Pedro, just like I'd never gone. I knew the song, young girl with eyes like the desert. It all seems like yesterday, not far away.
Bang, bang, bang.
Where the hell that come on, they just so. We ain't want that at all. Nah. Oh, we go with that, we can't with that. Yeah. Oh boy. Energy Minister Dr. Rudal Munilal. Links St. Vincent political shake-up to Trinidad, to anti-Trinidad and Tobago rhetoric. I agree.
Bang, bang, bang.
Oh boy, in the Express. Tobago safer than ever. Kamala Defense Radar System on Sister Isle. Another to be installed in Trinidad. Very good, Trinidad and Tobago. With one, and obviously that is installed by the Americans, the American military. So you know it's a good thing to make sure they're seeing a wide range of Trinidad and Tobago, all Grenada side, they're going to be seeing all Vinci side there, so. And then one in Trinidad there, so. So we have the radar system going to be working, we'll be seeing everything in, out. So they go must know and see when them little boat and them coming with them Venezuelan and them here. And all them bacchanal thing. Hip hip hooray. Not for some others who want to question that and all. Criticize them like that and all. Something ways to the better of Trinidad and Tobago. PNM now gone from there. Them thing wasn't working. Radars wasn't in order. But everything is ba. That's why the Yellow Party go win today in St. Lucia too.
Bang, bang, bang.
And I find the next election, Mia Motley, who is a part of that whole Maduro Rauli, St. Vincent, Ralph Gonzalez clip, them supposed to feel it too. Yeah, the people of Barbados supposed to get rid of she.
Bang, bang, bang.
They ain't gonna lie, no, the woman come out glittering like gold, and all that like the woman. I say, what? This woman talking like a Malcolm X. This woman talking in a big way. And to see she turn around to be one, she ain't good at all. She ain't good. Alright, sorry. Thanks for the correction. For whatever in the air, the radar is to pick up whatever in the air. Are you telling me that radar only can pick up what in the air, but we wouldn't be able to pick up what in water? Well, alright, well I hope they put on one to pick up in water. That's what we want. Let the Americans spend their money, give me the technology, and pour up radar where we can pick up both in the water too. So we must have things in air, both in Trinidad and Tobago, and for water too. Thank you, Michael. Nancy, good morning to you. Glory, good morning. Mina, all Minas, good morning. Pelinga, Mohan. Pringala, how are you going? Yes, I miss each and every one of you. Did you hear the history which I have to give you all of St. Vincent and the Grenadines? With the exceptional race. They have been struggling and fighting up, somewhat like the PNM, somewhat just like in this country here. It's just Ralph after 24 years and going on 80 believe that he owned St. Vincent. You know the man was talking? And the people actually was totally fed up and wanted change. Roma Price, a pleasant good morning to you all. I made a lot of big links in there. I moved with a lot of big links in there. Plenty talk they say about Arnold Roberts and things what Arnold saying. And then meeting with people saying, well, boy, they're from Trinidad, or they had this in Trinidad. Most of the St. Vincent people all here have family links in Trinidad. Somehow they could tell you about Belmont, they could tell you about Laventille, they could tell you about Barataria, they could tell you that there's we don't point 14 South. Real Vincentians have links, family links with Trinidad and Tobago. Plenty of them. Man, in every 2 year check. Can you yeah, I just be down in Trinidad, you have family down there. And they can tell about Rowley and how Rowley do this and all kind of thing. They're well into the politics of Trinidad and Tobago. They know what's going on. David said we need to get raiders immediately to locate all monies unaccounted for all monies are unaccounted for from the treasury. Well, boy, if you could locate the raider for we go ask the government to buy it, so we go find out about that raider, go let me know all the money that is unaccounted for. Again, a lot of. Kenrick Posada, pleasant good morning to you. Just School, good morning. Mina Posada, good morning. Ashmir, good morning. Elizabeth, all of you, good morning to you all. Michael. Hey, let me say a pleasant good morning to those of you that are locked on to us in St. Vincent. Yes. Good morning to each and every one of you. Good morning to all the new MPs, including the one that lost his seat with Ralph. Dr. Ralph's son got curtailed from a woman. Good morning to you all. Yes, we'll be having some interviews with them as they settle in all very soon. So they'll just be giving us updates of what's going on in St. Vincent there. Especially my partner, Major boy. Major is a good one. He always calling with Ralph. I interview Major too. You know, I have a lot of things that are that I did across there. But let me go back to some of the headliners and them there. Prime Minister too earlier, the new Prime Minister there, very, very, very nice person earlier. Real cool, real down to earth. He can't dance now there. I tell him that, I say, boy, I say, Mr. Friday, you can't dance at all, boy.
Listeners on the live. Andy, my phone burner this morning is on capital P performance and capital D delivered. Andy, our esteemed Prime Minister, the lady is really full of compassion for our nation. And I urge all patriotic citizens to continue supporting her and forget the old talk and the rhetoric of Penny and No Sense and Company Limited, alias the PNM, right? Look at what the goodly lady has delivered on her election promises. All the things, all PSA 10%, laptop delivered, stand your ground legislation delivered in mere how many months, Andy? I think it's 8 months, or I can't remember exactly. Yeah, but promises kept and delivered to the people without an effort. With all the naysayers, Im's birth, the midget, the Dwen, the devil's son, right? Where we getting the money from? Well, Imbert, I have news for you. If you bring back all the pilferage of monies that was siphoned through contracts and the building of Balije House and so on, right? If you bring back all those monies back to the treasury, well, Imbert, we would have enough money to last a lifetime. Because if you check the offshore bank account of former PNM officials, well, Tony, right? The world will light up. Thank you.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Good morning to the Ground Report team. Last evening, which was Sunday, I was coming from the north heading to south. The traffic was ridiculous. It was the worst I have seen for a very long time. It started from the Prisal flyover, and I probably was heading way out to San Fernando. So I decided to take a shortcut to go on the old southern main road that heads to San Fernando. And it's the worst I have seen. After you pass California into Sabaneta, The grass on both sides of the road is as tall as 6 feet. Let us be real, my people. Although probably you may support the UNC, which I did, don't let us be blind to what is happening. A main road that have so many vehicles day and night passing, the grass is so high, considering the amount of crime we have in this country also. If someone were to break down where they would park, especially a woman, I am sure that the Minister of Works and Rural Development, I am sure the Prime Minister, I am sure the ministers, I am sure the councillors pass through that road. And it's time that something be done considering that road itself. There is so much of garbage on both sides. I say garbage, I mean the grass is so high. It is time that we do something about it. You may support, as I said, the UNC, but don't be blind to what is happening. Don't be naive at what is happening. Where are the council workers? If CPEP and URP wasn't around, probably the roads would have been like high as the forest. Take out the council workers from where they are sitting. They reach to work there at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, and they leave at 9. Where are the councillors? It is time that this country wake up to what is happening. Thank you.
Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Trinidad, Tobago. Andy, glad to be back in Trinidad and in safe. Hey, Andy, you did a good job, man. I'm proud of you, man. Very good job. You know what I mean? I'm glad to be part of that. You know what I mean? I'm glad to be part of that. That you went across there. You know what I mean? So you and Lennox and them. So, right, Andy, keep doing what you're doing. You're going places. Again, congratulate you. You're doing a good job. Keep it up.
Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
It was really nice. From day one, from the time we touched down, the Saturday, that was it. In camp, one time. And the opposition did keep, Sir Friday did keep his promise. From the time we reached him, boom, all right. People came and meet with us. Make sure we organize and have people to move with, to go to the various camps, meet the various candidates. Talk to them and get give them little ideas of experiences and things to do too. Some things they say on the platform and all kind of things. But they really like Trinidad and Tobagonians. It's not like how Ralph was putting we down as no. St. Vincent's love Trinbagonians. Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Blessed morning.
How are we going? Go. Hey, Triple G. KFC. KFC.
Yeah.
But how you ain't talking? You're in. Where is you in? You lock up or you outside? Because I wasn't wrong, and I want to make sure you're out. Chapelchi. Where the hell is this? Like you're talking from we?
Yeah, man out. Yeah, man out.
Yeah, but where is boy?
Hello.
Yeah, but how you we losing signal?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we in here, but where you like you're not in where you normally speak to call we or what?
Yeah, but I go by the internet. I come from by the neighbor. Come on internet. You take call sometime today. But here we go on, and you know today is the 1st of December.
Yeah.
The last month of the year.
Yeah.
And right now, KFC actually for opportunities and a betterment, and doors are closing. This Miss Van der Moet, I camping so I will share walk with she. I send and text her call and she answer me. You know what she do? She blocked me. So you can say that I find that some kind of disrespectful thing, or some kind of discrimination, some kind of thing. I want to reach out to the Honorable Prime Minister and let you know that because them was related with me, talking to me. Now I consistent asking for little opportunities and betterment. Them block the phone, them take off the phone, block me. And plus a woman was listening with in the ministry there, who close to the minister there, like the minister tells you not to block me. Because I asked him a certain question, is the first Christmas coming, mean see nothing here, you know. So the only movement true supporters and activists, and when they're talking, so people vex, bringing on the government. Must say congratulations to Lennox Smith and the new boy appointment. The man was fighting real hard in the belly of the UNC, was there and all them protests and them. Me and he had to run from tear gas.
Lennox Smith didn't get an appointment. Lennox Smith get an appointment or one of his candidates, so he candidate or something.
But I see Lennox Smith with Krisha, man, Gani letter. You see that?
True. Send me that.
He get some kind of bread. But glad for him because he suffer long. He fight and toil and he work hard. He get the award. I think he called Van der Moet and Krisha, man, them not answering the phone. I really attack on them. Because last week Wednesday, you're on the web Barry. I went to check him, but I got to realize he was in Parliament. So I just waiting to see now. You know, I KFC, I always said at the road. I come in and talk. We're not suffering in silence. Because every month you don't know that, you know. Who tell you to hold on and don't bring on the government and this and that. Them bread butter, them sitting on board, them getting a little small thing. And they have more to say, you know. I got just my daughter here, she had to go to a school driver now come there. Who vex lost, bless.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Alarm over increased online abuse of women. Plenty of them women and them putting themselves online to get their abuse, between you here. All they organizing, all they going up online, all they have on bra jersey, all their nipples showing up, all they putting on tights, all they fankalang, print out, all they going online there and all them doing that plenty, all they woman. You understand? I mean, all they, if all they nice, all they accepted, all they must have enough confidence in all they self, that all they don't need approval of social media and how beautiful you all are, how sexy you all are. But that's what social media is about. All they jumping out there and all they shaking up, all they bumble all kind of thing. It's only think about tantalizing, man. I ain't getting no man no right neither to want to abuse any woman online or them kind of thing. But if you really check it, when woman, most times, woman point themselves out there on social media, other than who working for the country, as in who is activists for a better country, and you know, who will promote human rights and children rights and it have various things. Most of them women and them when they go up there, it's a pub nice pit here, and they went so, and in a restaurant here, and they have on this best clothes, and they have on pum shorts thing, print out thing, who are the fatter thing. That is, I just be straightforward, you know. When I seen that now, I just be like, way, look how social media is really a porn, but a high-tech porn, clothes on. But it's porn. Most of the things there, other than current affairs and whatever, from the time you see a woman, it's about putting up herself because she has no self-confidence that she nice and whatever, and she believe that she had to take a picture with she box print out. So in that way, a man could see the box print out and well, the cardboard box. And that man now go, hey, she nice. What? Look at that. That is what going on. Boobies who won't stand up, who nipples print out. That is what they're doing. That is attraction for more hits. More hits. They want more likes now, more hits. Morning caller, where are you calling from? What's your contribution on the ground report this morning? Caller, good morning.
A pleasant morning to the pitbull, brother Andy Williams. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Tabakit. You know, I just straight I just talk my mind straight, and I am saying, them woman and them on these days, them woman you become man when they putting up thing is some kind of stubbornness they putting up. Them don't be putting up nothing where they tantalizing woman. Woman only putting up thing right too.
Let me make my contribution. Thank you, and let me say morning to Lennox Smith, the Englishman, and to Michael Kerr, and to the Honorable Prime Minister and the government. Andy, before I go forward, let me tell you the work you would have done in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It was noted. I saw you hugging up and kissing with the new Prime Minister. So, so I want to congratulate you. Indeed, you is a force to be reckoned with now in the Caribbean. Yeah, my brother. You heard me, Andy?
Yes. I'm sorry I couldn't have been there for the St. Lucia one, man. If I could have only get to go across there.
All right, so let me make my contribution now. I am sending a message this morning to all bloggers, TikTokers, influencers, and all those who have a voice. Mr. Tabakit is saying it is time to get down to work to promote the government agenda. Andy Williams, let me repeat this. To all bloggers, influencers, TikTokers, Facebook, MySpace, radio callers, TV callers, let us get down to business. We are 7 months in office, led by the Honorable Prime Minister, the Honorable Kamala Prasad Visasa. We are on the right track. And I am asking all activists, regardless to what title you have, what platform you have, let us know, find out of every ministry, Andy, the goods and services that the government is offering to the citizenry. The budget have been called. There is allocation in every ministry. Right now, you know, Andy, we have a team abroad in the Arab country with Saddam John, and the Foreign Affairs Minister is going to bring back to develop that plan. You know, the plan that they would have laid down with the Honorable Prime Minister, the blueprint to move the economy forward. I am now asking all activists, get that information. And when we come to the radio now, activists like Tabakit and all of us, it's not about Tabakit. It's not about us anymore. But it's about promoting the government agenda. Andy, let me put you on the spot before I come off. How you love what I said now? Talk to me, Andy.
You talk real good, D.
And
real good.
Hold on, Pitbull, you with me?
Yes, yes.
Right, thank you. And since you said I talk real good, it's a deep clarion call to all and sundry. Let us know, and let me tell you, I want to hear the big names on TikTok. There is a lot of program, Andy, and I've been fighting and battling. We want people to come out from their comfort zone. And anywhere you see anybody opposing the government on TikTok, any platform, your duty is to defend the government policy, the government within 7 months. Andy, let me say this. What this government have achieved within 7 months, for the last 10 years, the Rowley administration did not do that. So if the Honorable Prime Minister and her government can achieve that in 7 months, imagine in the next 5 years how Trinidad and Tobago will look. So, Andy, as I take my leave, as you give me voice, I am now appealing to activists. It's not about us anymore. The election is over. Let us go out there. Let us put fire in our belly and defend and bring the government agenda. Find out what all ministries have to offer. Tabak it out and off. I thank you.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Trying to make we also see. Hey, let me say pleasant good morning to Delia. Good morning to Delia, Neely Silva wife. Not forgetting Neely Silva, good morning, Councillor. Oh boy. Nasa Hussein, a pleasant good morning to you. Darren Mohan, Denver Mohan, all of you a pleasant good morning. Final warning. White House tell Maduro resign or face expanded military action. Venezuelan VP rejects that threat.
Oh Lord! Bang, 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 bang.
Trying to make what's your thoughts on that? It's out in the open. The ultimatum of war or no war, or expansion to military. In this, Western Hemisphere, right in the Caribbean. It's out. Final warning. White House tells Maduro resign or face expanded military actions. But Venezuela Vice President Delcy Rodriguez rejected that threat.
Bang, 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 bang. Oh Lord.
New MT. May I know it have a new leader? New NTA leader demands transparency on radar installation. NTA. New NTA leader, Norman Dindial. But that party is really Gary party. Oh, so this brother here is the leader of that of the party. All right, so the new NTA leader, Norman Dindial, he's demanding transparency into radar installation.
Bang, 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 bang. Oh Lord.
So you will let me know what's your thoughts on that too. Hey, Cindy Mohan, a pleasant good morning to you. Marilyn Chicharan, a pleasant good morning to you. Roger, good morning. Michael, a pleasant good morning to you. Naz Ali Mestali, good morning. Matilda Rhodes, good morning. Anne Marie Amin, a pleasant good morning to you. Roll, good morning, Rolly. Jason Phillip, now seeing you there, man. Oh, they come on late. Nancy, good morning. I hear now told you because I was not wrong a little while, you know. Samantha, I make sure I touch base with you all. And I'm going to thank each and every one of you all for giving the Ground Report that opportunity, that sponsorship, to be a part of the St. Lucia, St. Vincent in fact, St. Vincent and the Grenadines general elections, where we see a real dread whipping of Rav Gonzalez 14-1. The 5-star general, the 6-star general stands alone. No lieutenants, no major generals, nobody standing with him. He mano have to face the new government led by Goodwood Friday and many other generals and lieutenants that is a part of his team that he continue to acknowledge. They have a real close net something only. I see it for myself too.
Bang, 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 bang.
Jill Monroe, good morning. Nancy Basio, I don't tell you morning already. Wamak Cyril, how are you going? Fabulous, nice. Joyce Ram, I tell you Abigail, good morning. Kenrick Prasad, don't tell you morning. What about Orlando, good morning. Mr. Tunapuna, pleasant good morning to you. Miss Lahoketa, Mr. Lahoketa, good morning. Mami Roadbrook. Miss Santa Cruz number 2, my small little lady with a big mouth, she needs here at all. Good morning to each and every one of you. As I thank you all, each and every one of you all that made that commitment. It was a well-deserved commitment. It was a well-deserved trip. It was a well-deserved experience. Sandy Jones, good morning to you. I'm now seeing you. Roseman, good morning. Alcott Plaza, how we going? Patch, how we going? Right, don't forget to hold your thoughts on various things there. Right, last alternative for Maduro. All I heard that for yourself. Simongol, good morning. Shireen, morning. Auntie, morning.
Urged to resign or face full force of narco-terror crackdown. EDA gives Maduro one last chance. Sign immediately, leave Venezuela with his wife and son, and receive safe passage, or face the full force of an expanding U.S. campaign targeting what Washington has labeled a narco-terrorist regime. According to U.S. media reports, the call, reportedly brokered by Brazil, Qatar, and Turkey, collapsed almost instantly. Maduro demanded global amnesty, control of the armed forces, and time to negotiate an exit, conditions Washington rejected outright. Days later, President Donald Trump stunned the region by declaring Venezuelan airspace closed in its entirety, warning airlines, drug traffickers, and human smugglers that the order required immediate attention. In Venezuela, the statement was widely interpreted as a signal that land operations could begin imminently. For Trinidad and Tobago, just 7 miles from Venezuela's coast at its closest point, the prospect of U.S. military action on Venezuelan soil has triggered deep concern among national security officials. A senior local intelligence officer, speaking to Guardian media on condition of anonymity, said any destabilization across the Gulf of Paria would send shock waves straight into Trinidad. We are already managing the highest ever flows of irregular migrants, the officer said. If this escalates into open conflict, the humanitarian impact on Trinidad and Tobago could be unprecedented. The phone call came amid a sweeping escalation of U.S. pressure on the Maduro administration. Washington has revived long-standing allegations that Venezuela's top leadership runs the Cartel de los Soles, described by U.S. officials as a state-embedded drug trafficking network. Last week, the U.S. formally designated the cartel as a foreign terrorist organization, placing Maduro, Interior Minister Diosdado Cabello, and Defense Minister Vladimir Padrino Lopez in the same legal category as Al-Qaeda and ISIS. The designation significantly widens Washington's authority to conduct military operations without additional congressional approval. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said the move opens up a lot of new options, while President Trump hinted that land-based missions targeting cartel infrastructure could begin very soon. Venezuela has rejected all U.S. allegations as politically motivated. In a statement this week, the Foreign Ministry said it would not waste valuable governing time responding to slanders, insisting the population was united and cohesive and preparing for the Christmas season. Inside Venezuela, however, residents in coastal communities facing Trinidad have reported heightened military activity in the wake of Trump's airspace declaration. Videos shared online show increased patrols and troop.
That's serious thing. I wasn't all up into this, you know. I was all up into Vinci elections. So we are also learning that Donald Trump declared the airspace of Venezuela closed. That is what I'm hearing here. So anything itself look to fly will get shoot out of the air. Is that what I'm hearing, Trinidad and Tobago? Well, let me know.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Bang, bang, bang. bang, 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 bang.
Has not publicly confirmed any mobilization. Regional analysts warn that any conflict in Venezuela, whether limited strikes or a broader campaign, could have immediate repercussions for TNT. A former
Former military chief calls for full disclosure on U.S. military radar in Tobago. Or later things that I find people calling full disclosure, Mattel. So I want you to hear, all right, we put on a radar. What is the power of the radar? What is the intent of the radar? What that is about? What that is about? That's like somebody telling me, hey, I secure my property. I have an electrical gate in the back. I have a camera where they can't see facing the front. I have a secret camera in my drawing room. I can hear them from by the road. What disclosure people want? Simple. What is the purpose of a radar? What's the good that a radar brings? What do you all want the people to tell all you, boy? Let me be real. Where want them to tell all you? That the radar going to be used to man the air for war. What do you want them to tell all you, boy?
Bang, 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 bang.
I just get vexed for nonsense, man. People asking for this, asking for that. But what the hell all you want people to tell all you? And you's a big former defense chief. Come on now, man. Come on now, man. All you want to make all yourself relevant. But relevant on nonsense.
RX Petrotron workers. OWTU President General Ansel Roger delivers a fiery speech to union members outside Heritage Petroleum Company Limited in Point A. Land and reopen their medical centres as the Refinery Review Committee prepares to deliver its report on the Point A Pierre refinery restart this week. Scores of former casual, temporary, and permanent workers gathered at Paria Fuel Trading Company's car park as the Oilfields Workers Trade Union, OWTU, marked the 7th anniversary of the refinery's closure and the mass dismissal of all Petrotron employees. The controversial restructuring by the previous People's National Movement administration had ended TNT's refining operations. But as Minister in the Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries, Ernesto Cassar addressed the largest union gathering in years, optimism returned. Cassar, a former OWTU branch president, said that although 2,814 former workers had applied to the Land Settlement Agency for parcels owed under their separation agreements, only 238 had received letters of commitment, and none had yet received land. Following recent meetings involving Prime Minister Kamla Persad Bissessar, Minister Drive Rudal Munalal, and OWTU President General Ansel Roger, Cassar was instructed to prepare a comprehensive report on all former workers for cabinet approval. It will take into consideration where the land is located, the capacity, and all of the different facilities, but I have been given that responsibility to prepare that report, he said. On healthcare, Cassar said the government hopes to reopen 2 defunct medical facilities for former workers and their families within 6 months. Munalal tasked him with inspecting the clinics under Trinidad Petroleum Holdings Limited and identifying quick wins. After visits to the Garikara and Santa Flora clinics, Kerr found that the Point APR Center remained structurally sound and retained medical records for all workers. However, the Santa Flora facility had been vandalized. Santa Flora wasn't as sound as Garakara. The place was vandalized. Doors and windows were removed. The center is structurally strong, but there is a lot of work to do, he said. Regarding the refinery itself, Kerr stressed that the OWTU remains a key partner in the restart process. Can you imagine there are persons in this country who do not want this refinery to be open? He asked. As the union continues to assert its claim over Petrotran's successor companies, Kerr said Labour Minister Leroy Baptiste has been instructed to bring a motion to Parliament supporting the OWTU's claim to successorship. Roger described the refinery's closure as the worst economic decision in the nation's history and said it was designed to weaken the OWTU. He also revealed that he had served former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley with a legal notice and statement of claim for damages, alleging defamation in August 2022. The claim relates to a social media post where Rowley reportedly implicated Roger in blocking a highway during a protest over a temporary scrap metal ban.
Political analyst Shane Mohammed. Good fella, know the boy. Know him when you used to be in the UNC. But what utter rubbish again the papers and them there's really be about, boy. Analysts say it's too early to say if US radar will impact Tobago elections. Where a radar in Tobago had to do with Tobago elections? What Mother Bernie and the people at Tobago studying that? Them not studying that? All I hear the rubbish. This be asked by mainstream media, but supposed to be very bright people. But again, CNC3 have their own, them on their own beat. All I hear that rubbish. And Shane Mohammed, a political analyst, had to answer that piece of rubbish. He had to answer that. Yeah, he answered. Eh? Dr. Shane Mohammed. Analyst, he is saying it is too early to say if US radar will impact Tobago's elections. Ay, ay, ay.
The installation of a new US military radar system at ANR Robinson Airport will play a significant role in the upcoming Tobago House of Assembly, THA, elections. Political analyst Dr. Shane Mohammed said that without an announced election date, it is premature to assess whether the radar situation will influence the campaign. I think it's too early right now to see whether there's going to be an impact. First, we need to know when the election will be, and how that election date fits into the calendar of events in the weeks to come.
Yeah, we need to know that when the election will be this, that, and how it will fit in the calendar in the weeks to come. But we also need to know how a radar even fitting in the elections to come. What bread and butter that have? What impact that can have on Tobago and Tobago people? What? Man, look at this nonsense them just be talking now.
Then we can have another discussion, Dr. Mohammed said. He added that the situation has highlighted the need for improved government communication. Communication is very important. Government communication needs improvement. This isn't just about speaking publicly, it's about online communication as well. There's a lot of rhetoric and sensationalization, he said. Dr. Mohammed also noted that he was uncertain whether the radar issue is currently a major concern for most Tobagonians.
I would like to ask Tobago and Tobago people that are locked on. The radar issue affecting you all in any way? But the radar issue make you all vote the PNM and not consider voting for the blue? For Farley and the team? Tobago, let me know that now. Because I believe that this paper is talking nonsense.
Bang, 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 bang.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
I think this radar issues are irrelevant issue. I think this radar issues are nonsensical issue. The radar issue have and will have no impact. And I don't be no Dr. Shane or Dr. Andy Williams to tell all of that. The radar issue, but the radar is not an issue. That ain't having no say, not even a twinkle in the bambalam for nobody in Tobago. When it comes to the Tobago people having to make their decisions, going to the polls day. Overwhelmingly, PNM staying out.
Bang, 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 bang.
Attempts by Guardian Media to gather comments from other political analysts were unsuccessful, with several declining to speak, citing the situation as too speculative at this stage. TAR Chief Secretary Farley Augustin dissolved the Assembly 2 weeks ago, but has promised to announce the election date by today. Augustin, political leader of the Tobago People's Party, is confident of retaking the TAR, but will face a challenge from the People's National Movement, led by former Chief Secretary Ansel Dennis.
Economists is split. Right, economists are split on oil fallout from U.S.-Venezuela tension. They are split on it, so you're in a... Dr. Ronald Ramkissoon and Mariano Brown, they having a little say on it. Let me hear what it is that they say on that. Let's hear. Let me take this call quick. Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Andy Tabakit here. You hearing me there, Professor?
Yes, loud and clear.
Right, thank you. I want to speak to something that you just raised there in regards to that raider in Tobago. I want to tell Trinidad and Tobago on the whole, we should be thankful for that raider. Andy, let me repeat this, Trinidad and Tobago should be thankful for the raider. Andy, we well aware in regards to surveillance and detection, that was an all-time low via the TTPS, the Coast Guard, and the Army. What will now happen when that information is fed into Pentagon and our National Security Council, headed by the Honorable Prime Minister, together with the Commissioner of Police, the Chief of Defense, and all of them, real-time data and information will now coming to the National Security Council, and it will help Trinidad overwhelmingly. Andy, all citizens, let me say this, all citizens should welcome that raider. Andy, we well aware Trinidad does not manufacture guns. We well aware that Trinidad does not manufacture cocaine. That raider, what our raider could have not intercept, that raider, let me tell you, you know who should be uneasy? The criminal. Andy, let me repeat this, The people who should be uneasy with that raider is the criminal and not law-abiding citizen. If you have nothing to hide, then so be it. And I am saying this, Trinidadians and to the PNM in Tobago, They're too disingenuous. They're trying via the media house, which is their financier and the voice, to try to see if they could use this to play in the Tobago election. But the Tobago people, as you rightfully say, is more intelligent. Let me repeat this, Any concerned citizen, Andy Williams, the pitbull, in Trinidad and Tobago should welcome that raider. Andy, for too long, you've been hearing people telling you about the 4 cardinal points in terms of surveillance and detection. That will add to the TTPS, it will add to the Coast Guard, it will help with crime.
Patricia Reed is saying, go and read what the radar, just tell him again. Andy, go read, well, he's saying, go read what the radar could detect. Go read what the radar could detect. So she's trying to build a case, but she asked me if I miss she, but I ain't miss she at all. I can't miss somebody and come back to this kind of stupid talk here one time so quick.
Let me speak directly to Patricia.
Yeah.
Miss Patricia, who is your daddy? Miss Patricia, you all hold on, I have to ask her. Because Patricia and them live right here in Trinidad. And they know something which have been plaguing us in regards to surveillance and detection. And Andy, that is why I say, if you have nothing to hide and you're a law-abiding citizen, then let the radar do its job. Let Pentagon get real-time information and give it to the National Security Council so they could now have, let me tell you what the PNM and people like Patricia and all of them is scared about. They know now that will now cram down on guns, on drugs, on human trafficking. It will now decrease the murder. It will now interfere with all of that. So people like Patricia and them who have something to hide, who is an advocate technically for the PNM and Tobago, I want to tell Patricia, who is your daddy? Because people like all you have to tell her that. People like Patricia and them, they want crime to remain. They do not want a country. And I am saying, I, Tabakit, as a national patriot, I support the radar in Tobago, in Trinidad, so that we will be able to deal once and for all in terms of drugs, guns, human trafficking. I support the radar. I and Andy, let us not forget, we need to congratulate and commend the Honorable Prime Minister for seeing the vision to take the bold step with the American government to set up this. Yes, Andy, we need to congratulate our Prime Minister, the Honorable Kamala Prasad-Bissessar, because what she wants murder to be a thing of the past, drugs, human trafficking, and I am saying to Patricia, who is your daddy, quote unquote PNM, we will have none of it. We will push back and we welcome the radar to deal with criminality so that we can have real-time surveillance and detection. I thank you, Andy.
Thank you very much. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Right, but I also read in here, reality always a legend, right? He's saying, listening to these old layers is what have our country destroyed. Oh my God. And no future for the youths. Only lies these old people have. I understand this reality, fella. I don't know, boy. This is a man or woman. But what these seniors and them on our program here, they say that them have always been talking the truth. They have always been bringing contributions to uplift and build Trinidad and Tobago. So is it your reality? Is it that you are saying that the radar and all, you against the radar? And I would like Lennox Smith to just go in and check up on us there. What is the purpose of the radar? What it is to do? So we'll have an idea what is to do and what the radar is about. What is to do? What is to detect? What good it brings to the country? He will make sure and bring up that day, so we will know. And my big question after I ask him, what is the positives that we having on the radar? I'd ask Lennox Smith, what is the negatives we have in our radar, boy? Because all these people and them there with us, radar go make election Tobago. What is the negative fallout with Trinidad and Tobago gaining radar in Tobago, radar in Trinidad, and being installed by the Americans? And I will love to know. I will love to know. Let's continue the call, Mother Bernie. Morning caller.
Good morning, people. God bless you. God bless you, Andy. God bless Lennox Smith, you know.
Hold on, next caller. Let Granny talk there short and sweet. Go on, Granny. Hold on, next caller.
Yeah. God bless Lennox Smith. Hello?
Yes, we hear you, Granny. You go ahead.
Right. Lennox Smith is a guru. God bless all you. All you doing good work. Granny getting to know everything in your house. All you had Granny living, you know. All you had Granny living. TC here, EU, Phillips, all you had Granny living. All you had Trinidad going good. All you had Trinidad and Tobago going good. God bless all you. I want to send a message to people who want to say Christmas coming. All your extra food want people to push trolley. My nephew pushing trolley there and mine in 2 children and he went in. And for the girls and the boys, Pennywise taking people. Don't wait on the government. Because whole action is bad. Whole action is bad on all the countryside are poor people. They're going to work in beach. They're going to work in the cocoa land, you know, $200 a day. They have wife and children to mind. They can't get them from
After Granny caller.
Let me tell you something. You know how much disabled people wanted help from the PNM government and they didn't get it. And then Dana Moore tried to start all that. She was studying to help hardback people, or she studying to help them. All you, God bless all you.
Thank
God
you.
bless all your program.
Thank you, Granny. Next caller, pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Lennox. Lennox, now that it are no beating around the bush and no dancing around the fact that the United States want regime change in Venezuela. It has nothing to do with drugs again. They want to get rid of Maduro to bring in Machado so the American oil companies could get the resources of Venezuela. Let me ask you something. If that radar assisting the USA in their attacks on Venezuela, you feel Venezuela not going to look to get rid of that radar if it affecting their efforts to defend itself? And if they're going to get rid of the radar, where you feel they're going to fire at? Where the radar located? And next thing now, Venezuela, as we know, have hypersonic missiles. Russia supply them. They have Su-57s on the ground. That is better jets than the F-35. They could defend themselves up to that point. They might be overwhelmed in terms of hardware that America have on the ground, but they're going to defend itself. They're going to fight. This phone call that Trump had with Maduro, you know what Maduro offer? Give we a fair deal, we're going to let you come and get some of the oil on our terms. You can't just come and take resources. Our terms, give me a fair deal. Trump ain't want that. He want to come in and take everything. Venezuela is not a country that's going to back down. People can say they want both Maduro. He ain't going to back down. He's a Chavista to start with. And he was helping. If you check when Chavez come in and the social program he introduced, that is where the money was going, that the oil was making, and a lot of people benefit from it. The American oil companies lost out. So they want to go back in now and get it for free. I want to ask him, you know how much Burkina Faso was getting for the uranium 2 cents per ton. 2 cents per ton for the uranium. That's why China kick out France. Right now, America fighting down South Africa. Trump and them fighting down South Africa because the South Africans want to displace some economic independence. So we can't just go with what is the popular opinion, partner.
All right, but let me ask
We
you
have to
something.
look at scaling.
Right, but despite of what? What bad is we getting help to upgrade our radars in Tobago and in
That's
Trinidad?
not we radar, Andy. That is not our radar. The Trinidadian to operate the radar is American soldiers. That is not we radar, partner. The radar on our soil is Americans operating it, and they're doing it for their reason. That has nothing to do with we.
But America don't need to install a radar in Trinidad. Remember, they had the boats out there that have radars.
Not that type of radar.
All right.
That radar is to detect assets from. Look, we's only 7 miles from Venezuela. Venezuela is very close to we. Them have no boats so close within Venezuela boundaries. All the boats is outside in international waters. That radar is to detect where Venezuela using the defense so that America could attack them. If let me say 2 planes flying now and go on defense, decide to shoot at them because they're in Venezuelan airspace. That radar is to pick up where the shots coming from so that America could attack them. The radar tying to the American defense system. And as the people wondering what we radar, we have anybody on that radar site? That is American soldiers. Them alone know what they're doing.
All right,
and
let me
that's connected to
let me
their
say,
attack.
let me say that radar is to knowing that America independently and Venezuela going to have a war. And let me say that radar now is to be placed there to make sure if any hypersonic missile or any missile coming to Trinidad, that radar had to pick it up where America now will be able to shoot it out the air before it hit Trinidad. So wasn't it for that good?
You supposing, partner, that radar is help
But you
America.
supposing
If the
to.
radar hit,
You supposing
if
to.
the radar affecting Venezuelan defense, they're going to attack it. Venezuela ain't coming to attack Trinidad if Trinidad is a neutral state. But we know overtly interfering in the thing because we bring them on the ground here. You know when they wanted to put a radar in Grenada and the Grenadian government said no? Why they come Trinidad?
All right. So that is it. So you are saying that that radar is not good for Trinidad and Tobago. And when
Not
it comes
at this
into
point.
our
When they was
airspace,
when they had when they had the fig leaf for fighting drugs, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But now it's openly they're going to attack Venezuela. They're going to regime change. Trump saying it all over the place. It's regime change they're looking for.
All right. All right, caller. Thank you. Next caller, pleasant good morning to you.
Yes, good morning to the ground report. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. I am calling from Tobago.
Yeah, go ahead, Tobago. Tell us if that radar thing interfere with Ole in any way with these elections.
I don't know about all you, but I know about me. And I find people is very stupid and alarming and just going about talking things that they don't even know. I didn't learn physics in school because I never went to a high school. But all I know, that radar is international because it's an international airport and it must have a radar at any international airport around the world, right? And it's to pick up signal like if a large aircraft have to come and land in the airport in Tobago, if the plane is too large, it will tell you that the plane is too large that it cannot land. That is what I know. And it's to take up like the plane and them flying in the air, it's going to happen a collision in the air if 2 planes on the same course, or if a plane going off the radar, so they could contact and they could talk about it to go and find that plane wherever it is. You understand? That is what I know a radar for. Me, I don't know radar for no election and all these kind of things. People is too dumb and stupid and don't want to educate themselves. They want to stay in the stupid shallow thing. I don't know what's wrong with them. And have PNM talking all sorts of dirty shit in their ears. I don't know for what reason. Father, don't wrong with no stupidness to me, please. I don't understand you. You understand? For big educated man, you're running with narrative and I don't like it. Because when the airport opened and he didn't finish, the Prime Minister have you sit down there, whether he did invite you or not, I don't know. You have to sit down there, he didn't ask you to say anything about Tobago and the airport, right? And then you want to run with all them narrative. I think you should know physics more than me and to know what a radar for. You understand? So stop your dotishness and stop let PNM pushing thing in the throat and do your work as a Chief Secretary in Tobago. Have a good morning.
Wait. No, well, like I will missing out Farley taking up chain up with that radar thing. That way the Tobagonian lady telling me, let me try to get in contact with Mother Bernie day 2S. Let me take some quick calls here and then. Lennox, you had to really make sure you had the information with that radar for the people, eh? Morning caller.
Good morning, Andy, Lennox, Mikey, Treasure, and Tobago and Ground Report. Andy, so you see, I like how the PNM said the radar is for election. Yes, the radar is for election. I want them to know that they get a radar in Tobago, right? Because the set we have in Trinidad, that is only pick up UNC information. And that one, just take up PNM information in Tobago. Because you see how stupid and asinine the PNM are desperate for power? Old talk and mamagism, this full belly. And I only hope the Tobagonians see after how much years that the PNM rule and $40 billion for Tobago. The last 4 years under Farley, the PNM under in there suffer them. So what good they will bring? But I want to ask you, Andy, it had a vessel to a set of oil, $50 million it cost to clean up, right? And a set of cocaine was found somewhere in the water the other day. Anybody know how that reached there? Is there a man named Benjamin and Ola Christopher was looking and the arrest about quite down in Ghana. Quite down in Ghana. But if we had those facilities, where you take the and I want to tell the PNM, right? If Rowley was in power this morning, what do you think America would have done with Rowley? Because he and Stuart Young fully aligned themselves with Maduro. What would have been all the position this morning, all the PNM and all the commentators? What would have been? Rowley said Rowley's prime minister, or Stuart Young is prime minister this morning in this country. Anybody asking that question on the tongue? What would the United States would have do to Trinidad? Because they would have get the sanction and tariff. And Rowley would have moved the trading bloc to China. Because just imagine all the talking I said are nonsense. And I just irritate my ears. When I sit down to listen to constructive talk on this program, everybody know anything. You listen to all the media house and all that wannabe social media talk and come and try to put it in perspective. This is the question you have to ask, brother. Where is, if Rowley and Stuart Young is prime minister running this country today, what would have been the citizen problem? With the drug and gas and all them deal with Venezuela. All the clung. So here we're going on. Jump high, jump low. My esteemed political leader is an independent, sovereign state she running. And here we're going on. She's the head of national security. And anything I don't want to know, ask Rowley and Stuart Young. Why is they like back in Chihuahua and Potong behind Maduro and everything supporting Maduro? But jump high, jump low, Maduro have to go. Just like how the PNM went. Have a nice day, Andy. I want to take a bunch of it and I'll call back.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Go ahead, caller. While I try to just get in contact with Mother Bernie there to find out what's going on in Tobago if a radar going and affect the votes across the. Go ahead, caller.
Pleasant good morning, my brother Andy Williams. Pleasant good morning to you, my brother. Pleasant good morning, Lennox Smith, my next brother. Pleasant to you, Trinidad and Tobago. Pleasant good morning to my beloved Trinidad and Tobago. Andy, you see what Tabakit said there just now? I fully endorse Brother Tabakit with what he said. Andy, just 9 or 10 days or 12 days ago, the former Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago come out and say that we have a set of oil rig all over the place and the unsecure, right? So these radars that they put in, people have to remember, is modern day technology. We're in the 21st century and it's modern day technology. And our borders was open for far too long, Andy. You see all them guns Maduro giving people in Venezuela there and boy mobilizing people. Just now half of them guns must be done start to reach in Trinidad already. Right? Half of them guns will be done started reaching Trinidad already. And people, the gentleman who speak just now, the question, they're not asking the question. Andy, this was an orchestrated plan by Emailgate, the former Emailgate inventor. This was an orchestrated plan by him and Nicolas Maduro to destabilize this country when the administration changed. But Andy, the shit just hit the fan. Sorry for the language. It just hit the fan and it turned wrong now. That alternative Mr. Maduro get there. He get an opportunity to move out of Venezuela with his family, his wife, his son. If he don't want to take it, America will do what they have to do. And Mr. Donald Trump, I want to say thank you very much for watching our back, for protecting us, protecting the 1.5 million people in the little, we's a little drumstick, 2 elephants going in Bacchanal. Where if it go happen to we must get trampled. But who is the cause?
So Carnage, you believe
yes,
the whole radar system is to in coalition with helping to protect Trinidad and Tobago? No,
yes, Andy Williams. Yes, Andy Williams. Yes, my brother. The former Prime Minister come out and say that we have rigs so and we have oil rigs so and it's unprotected. He giving people heads up which part they could attack and what they could do. Right? So seeing that they did that, the Prime Minister make a proper decision. All what the Prime Minister is doing Trinidad and Tobago is doing his best to protect us. In the event that something should start in Venezuela, she are doing her best to protect Trinidad and Tobago and the citizens. And I don't know how all you are seeing that, but I realize the East-West Corridor and the 13 people who don't like the UNC at all, the 13 seat and the people in between who don't like the UNC at all, is them making this set of noise, is them getting on. But the righteous, conscious, thinking people of Trinidad and Tobago will welcome them things. And Ms. Camilla Prasad, Mr. Pleasant, good morning to you. And if we could get a radar in Shagamas too, that would be nice to defend the Gulf of Paria. Thank you, darling, for your good work. And they are locked on and listening. Give somebody else a live.
Yes, Andy Williams.
Mother Bernie, a pleasant good morning to you. Well, you know, Lennox Smith in studio. I'm here. And we just calling based on the elections in Tobago and the headliners whereby I see a Shane Mohammed, a political analyst, and people weighing in that, well, some people about a radar that could affect the elections or it may, or it's too early to call, or do Tobagonians have a problem with the government of Trinidad and Tobago putting up a radar for whatever reasons in Tobago there?
No, Andy. We had a boat that came in and spilled oil in Tobago. They never say who the boat, they said they find the owner. And we never hear nothing else after that. And that boat came in with cocaine with it. If we had that radar, modernized radar that they put up there now, we could have detected that boat there. We could have detected all the illegal things that going on. Them fishermen going out in the sea and they have to give out with their food to get guns from Venezuela and all them kind of things. We would have found out what happened to our radar, how that's going to affect the election. That is if people figure out what they're voting with. All we want in Trinidad and Tobago is safety for our citizens. And there are certain things that the Security Council cannot reveal. It is something that you have to keep quiet with. Kamala Prasad-Bissessa is the person in charge of the Security Council. She can't give out the secret at the Security Council. We have to learn to obey. We are still under the central government. And them we get our packet. And them we get our money. And them we try to help Tobago when nobody no been help away. We don't know what deals Rowley made with Maduro and Stuart Young and Amy Brown in Venezuela when they was dancing the Congo line. I have a saying that all the time I see them doing it, they have a bounty on the people of Trinidad and Tobago head, and what is in the dark will come out in the light. Nothing is wrong with the radar. Radar is not a thing that no come in. Radar, they're all over Trinidad and Tobago. This is a modernized one because technology changed, so you have to modernize. Tobago welcome the radar. Who vet lost, and that can't trouble we election. We election is the people's mindset had to be straight and know that PNM can't come back here. They could, listen to me, Trinidad and Tobago people have to understand, when Santi comes win this election, the PNM came out and said it's war, eh? So everything in their mouth is war. Now some of the people in Trinidad and Tobago, as they open their mouth is war, but they have to be careful what they ask for. Be careful what you all ask for. My Jesus tell me, stay silent, and he's going to fight our battles for us. Let me know what we're doing and let me know what we say. If it's something to help the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago to recognize the drug trade, the gun trade, and the human trafficking, let it work for us. This has nothing to do with election. We know we don't want, they could say what they want, and we don't want back PNM here. They now come back here. They do enough damage to Tobago. They suffer with for 21 years. They stifle with for money. Rowley say, give him a break. Rowley say, we not the government. Trinidad and Tobago people have to remember, when you see a good thing, hug it up. Santi comes is a good one, and let me pray for she that God keep her and help her to make this country the way it's supposed to be. And the Williams and Lennox Smith, I know you know what I'm talking about, and God is able, so God will see us through. Have a good morning.
Lennox Smith, a pleasant good morning to you. Could you let us know what is the purpose of the radar? If it's there, because some people saying it's just for the air. Some people saying it's modern, it's for both air and sea. What is the intent for the radar? Is it just for airplanes in, out? Is it to detect boats and planes within our territory? What's your thoughts on it, my brother? And in any way you seen that interfere with the Tobago elections? Or do you believe that some of the people just asking a set of dumb questions and making a mountain out of nothing when it comes to that radar system? Go ahead, Lennox Smith.
Yes,
good morning
indeed,
to you.
Yes, indeed. Of course. President, good morning to you, my friend. You can be loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
Yes, indeed. Well, I want to, of course, formally welcome you back from your St. Vincent venture, even though, of course, I had to leave prematurely, but it was due to circumstances. We had, of course, to have a division of labor that only we know, because each one of us must multitask in order, of course, to have a proper program be to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and indeed, of course, the Caribbean and the rest of the world. Let me also say that first and foremost, of course, my apology to those who did not get the benefit of the corridor last night, but that was due to circumstances beyond my control. And in addition, of course, just to clarify, the appointment to the board of the Rural Development Company of Trinidad and Tobago by the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Ms. Khadija Amin, was for the appointment of our candidate, Robert Mitchell. He has been appointed to the board of that particular company, just to make sure that that we're clear. What I can tell you.
Oh, so you guys, it wasn't you get an appointment. It wasn't you get an appointment.
Yeah.
No.
In my address, of course, at the function, because I had insisted that it becomes a media event, which the minister, of course, accepted. So in my acceptance of that appointment, for our candidate. I did in fact express the fact that is from the hills of Laventille to national service or to the boardrooms of one of the national entities. And of course, if it was not for love, that could not have happened, and therefore our commitment to the Laventille community, East Port of Spain, Beetham, Sealats, etc., remains firm and of course consistent. I thought it was important, of course, to do that and to say that. That being as it may, let's get, of course, to the existential topic at this point in time, which of course is the radar scenario. Well, there are several moving parts, if you want to call that, or several dimensions to this entire thing. The Prime Minister recently said, well, listen, that is a request that she made because of the problem with contraband, entering both our airspace and that of our sea space. You would recall, I'm sure that those of you who are aware and have been keeping tabs, so to speak, you would recall that there was, of course, a 360 degrees alleged, of course, radar system in Trinidad and Tobago. You recall that under, of course, the PNM administration, and more specifically, of course, under the late Patrick Manning, who was the Prime Minister then. Of course, that proves to be ineffective, and at times, of course, it probably wasn't even existing, even though, of course, a large amount of monies was expended. Don't forget, of course, that the blimp as well, that was supposed, of course, to have some impact on about national security improvement, but that has failed. And of course, the measurement clearly is when, particularly between 2022 in earnest and of course 2024, we have had record-breaking one after the other murders in Trinidad and Tobago with the use of what? Guns, and of course the drug infiltration or invasion have not been abated. All right. Come forward and into contemporary times. Well, the Americans have come on their own agenda, of course, and with their beef, if you want to call that, with the Venezuelans. But Trinidad and Tobago has been a tremendous beneficiary in the sense that, and I agree with the Honorable Prime Minister, that of course drugs coming into the country has been reduced. Two, human trafficking is almost at a standstill. And thirdly, of course, we have guns and ammunition being a scarcity. And at the same time, as we said last week, I think, or week before, that the price of fish has not increased exorbitantly or maybe not at all. And that is because of the very careful way that this entire operation has been planned and executed by the Americans. Of course, if fish prices would have been increased, I'm sure the government would have said, well, listen, this thing is having a negative impact on our fisher folk, and therefore the ability to get protein from the fish that we would, of course, be part and parcel of our staple or our diet. So I'm very concerned in terms of the capability of the radar itself. Some say that is military grade, and therefore suggesting that it is only for military purposes. Well, what they cannot deny is that it could also be used for, if I'm to accept that argument, it cannot be in isolation, it cannot be in a vacuum, it cannot be by itself, because of course they have to admit that it is also for the purpose, at minimum, also for the purpose of monitoring our airspace and water spaces, if you want to call it marine environment, in order, of course, to capitalize on the reduction of these contrabands that have plagued Trinidad and Tobago, and of course exponentially increased the crime situation in this country. So from that perspective,
so I think it's about the air and land. You're saying it's both for air and land space.
It is a win-win situation for Trinidad and Tobago, the presence of the Americans, and the fact that, of course, we have been able at the same time, without having to expend any additional funds, to, of course, address that burgeoning and a very troubling situation with respect to drugs, guns, human trafficking, and of course impacting on our crime situation, particularly murders. Any other thing? I think I have said.
So you're saying, Lennox, you are saying that most definitely, knowing it is a military radar, that it will be high tech to detect not only the air, but as well land to boats coming in and out. It's a whole scheme, A and C.
Well, I want to say with respect to the specifics of a military facility, let me say is a piece of equipment for that purpose. Well, I find it very difficult because, of course, the largest warship, I shouldn't say warship, but the largest carrier, which of course in itself is a ship. So I'll say the largest warship in the world is on our doorsteps. It is closer to Venezuela's Caracas than we in Trinidad are. We are about 600 miles away from Caracas. Of course, the ships on them are outside in international waters, just outside the borders of Venezuela, but just about 100 miles, and therefore the technology shocks. But then again, you don't need to have even that. You could, of course, there is satellite technology. There is, of course, I'm sure, spy planes and all of that. That would be looking at any installation that the Venezuelans may have that may impact negatively on their attempt if regime change is the ultimate. Certainly, the military of the United States will be monitoring all of that to see where the installations are, and I want to expect that the first strike will happen whenever it happens is those defenses that the defense capability assets that the Venezuelans will have. That's the first thing will be struck. Let's not waste time. We saw that, of course, only recently in Iran, when, of course, they blew up, they took out the defense capability of Iran, and then, of course, moved in and blew up the underground nuclear facility that was creating some trouble for both the United States and that of Israel. So I would expect that you don't underestimate people with that kind of power, both in terms of technology, in terms of firepower, in terms, of course, of the ability to deploy. Wise, of course, Venezuela, to me, is there as a sitting duck, and therefore is just a matter of time as to when, if, of course, that is the objective. But I want to say, in spite of all of that, the fact is that the Trinidad and Tobago government, because it is in a diplomatic environment, cannot just say that the Americans come here to change the government of Venezuela. It will be foolhardy. The Americans, the Trinidad and Tobago government, can only say what the Americans told them. And that, to me, is keeping in good faith. Whether it is naive to accept that, but at any rate, no one would argue that Trinidad and Tobago could affect one way or another the decision of the United States whether to invade, not to invade, change the regime there or not. And therefore, what we have is to see what we can benefit from the presence, and that is exactly what the government of Trinidad and Tobago is doing at this point in time. I took note of the concerns of the chief secretary in Tobago, but of course, both Minister Sturge and I think the chief of staff and I think the attorney general met with him and allay his concerns as to the specific purposes of the radar being physically, of course, installed there. And as I said earlier, the Prime Minister said that she requested it, and why not? I mean, here it is. There's a certain kind of agreement by way of talk or facilitation, and if it is that ultimately Trinidad and Tobago must have a radar system, and if that could cover both islands or just Tobago, or just for Tobago alone, or indeed for the airport itself, because one would expect that they will have such a system to, of course, control and regulate your inward and outward flights, whether it be for commercial purposes or otherwise. So, in my view, I think is by and large a mountain, or put another way, taking a molehill and trying to make it a mountain, or to be more specific, of course, a storm in a teacup.
Nice. Oh boy, go ahead, caller. Pleasant good morning to you. What's on your front burner this morning? Well, some people, the radar is an issue. Some people on the front burner too. Oh boy, let me just go through some of the front burners that I went. But go ahead, caller, by the time.
Morning, Andy. Morning, Lennox.
Hey, Mr. Controversy. Let me hear what is your thoughts on this radar.
First of all, I must say I don't have a problem with the radar being in Trinidad. Once it's to help us with our borders and whatever America want to do, once it don't affect our economy or anything, I don't have a problem because of the radar there. It ain't doing Tobago people nothing. It ain't doing us anything. So I don't have a problem with the radar being there. What people need to understand is what the radar is for, right? Now, I like to go and try and do a little research and stuff, right? Now, I went and I pulled up a Trinidad Express newspaper, right? And there was a columnist. They went to talk to Mr. Normal Dindial. He was a former commander or something like that, right? And what he was saying is the radar is ANTPS 8G radar, right? Right, so this is what I'm seeing on the Express newspaper, right? So I went and looked up what the radar is for, and they say number one is an air defense radar, tracking aircrafts and missiles, right? It just pick up fighter jet, helicopter, drones, these counter fire radar, which can locate artillery, rockets, right? These things come in towards anywhere the country or Venezuela, wherever they want to see, so they will see what is coming at them, right? They say that can also help with air traffic control in situations where they can pick up friendly aircraft from war aircraft. Means like if we have a plane, a passenger plane coming in, they will know that if it's a bomber coming instead of a passenger plane. It can also detect that, right? So sometimes people just need to read a little bit and they will see exactly what the radar can do and how it will help Trinidad and Tobago, right?
So in other words, my controversial friend is that it also do not good for we based on if the war start or when it starts in fact, because it's open now that is technically regime change, right? Yeah. It's open. Hey, this is either this or we coming, right? That we airspace will still remain open, and the radar, that placement of it actually helps our airspace to remain open because it will be able to detect if it's a warplane or if it's BW coming in, if it's LIAC coming in, if it's an American airline. Okay.
Yeah, so it could also do that as well. So it wouldn't be like everything is, because at the end of the day, our airspace is close to Venezuelan airspace. So they need to monitor and know, okay, this is a passenger aircraft or cargo aircraft, and this is a military aircraft as well coming in. But
also technically, that is to ensure that they didn't shoot down the wrong planes when that time reaches.
Yes. So they can do that as well. It can also detect, bombs and anybody sending any missiles, anything. It will detect that very quick. My thing is, people must know it's not Trinidad and Tobago people monitoring this, it's the Americans monitoring. Trinidad and Tobago have nothing to do with that radar. That is strictly, I think, Americans monitoring that radar. When anything finish, that not staying in Trinidad, that packing up and leaving. So I think in all of this going on here, I think at the end of the day, I think our government too supposed to be asking the right question, asking for the correct help. Okay, they get regime change, this going to happen. We are going to leave. Now remember, because they get regime change, that don't mean drug trafficking is going to stop, That is something going on years and years. I think what the government supposed to be asking now, here what? We have problems with our Coast Guard. Or they have any company there that could help us to acquire boats. And these kind of conversations, I would like to hear, the Americans going to help us to acquire boats so that we can monitor our area, our country, our marine around.
Right, but I will also want them to ask them leave those radars there and train the people to be able to use those same radars?
No, that radar is a portable radar. That is not something permanent. So at the end of the war, them taking that and go. What we supposed to ask for is that if we can get our own, if the manufacturer could buy one, if we could buy one, or if they could donate one or something like that to our country to safeguard any reprisal after they leave, right? So these are the questions I want asked. If they, I don't know if they ask it or not, but these are the things I want to hear them say. Hey, yeah, even though we help the Americans, they in turn are going to help us, because at the end of the day, they will leave. They will, because they always do that. They will leave no matter what. They will leave. But we need to safeguard ourselves after they leave, because we know the drugs will continue. It may slow down, but it will continue after they leave. So, and then to remember to always have elections. So when Trump leave and some next administration Trump come in, they might change the whole thing and say whatever. But I think that's the conversations. I welcome the radar. I don't see any problem. It is also helping to defend our country from anybody attacking our country. It will help in that way. As we rightly said, the last Prime Minister will not open up the oil rig, or they could blow up oil rig. And so all that will help against that. So I don't have no problem, and I don't see Tobagonians having this big fuss in our election about that radar, because it's helping them as well. They are even smaller than us. So it's helping them as well. Forget what other people are saying. I think it's a good, and it will help our country detect. As far as it's for right now, it will help our country detect anything out there that's coming into our airspace as well. So I think it's a plus for us for now. Leave the radar, let them do whatever they do, and go on. Everybody going right at the end of the day, life going on, you know. Life going on. I mean, at the end, if wars already break out, Andy, shipping companies do not send their ships in a war zone. So we have to be very mindful of that. We are also so close that airlines may not, even though our airspace is open, airlines may want to refrain from sending their aircraft just because of that. Because mistakes do happen. Everything is not 100%. So you would find flights not coming to Trinidad. I see this, if it break out now, I see this affecting our carnival, right? Because flights may not, even though our space is open, flights may not want to come because of caution. Ships may not want to come because of caution. So that's the only thing I think we should really pay attention to. In the interim, just pay attention to that. I'm not saying that will happen, but we need to pay very close attention to that. When it comes to, so people, I advise people, nothing here, we don't want anything to happen, but still, if they could buy, extra food and water and put away just in case, just like if a hurricane come in, just in case, if we get a chopper, we just rush to buy toilet paper, just in case. Anything. I mean, we should feel reassured that the Americans here to help us. So I don't think it will be that bad, but just in case people, because I doing it, I don't know for other people. I go in and do my little stocking up. I don't think anybody, but I go in and do my little stocking up and put away just in case for a rainy day, because we don't know how this could turn out. We know that, as I said, they may not attack Trinidad. We have things to help us, but we have the other things to deal with when it comes to that. Right? All right, man, Andy. Hope everybody understand. You could just do a little reading. I think it was on yesterday's Express. If people go up online, you could see where the man lists out the whole reason and all that kind of thing. And I also looked up what that reader does do. Right?
Well, all right, but we gonna need one like that still here in this country, man.
Yeah, we go. So that I say, if we could get one as well.
And the caller made that point about the presence of the radar, and it might be there for temporarily or ephemerally. But the fact is that I have to reconcile, therefore, why the Prime Minister will ask for that, would give that request. One would expect that it would be for a permanent facility. That's the first instance. And then, of course, we have to not be naive, even though the official position of the government is one. We cannot, of course, take out of our minds the fact that it may well be some military activity that is being contemplated. And I'm saying so because the United States President has declared, of course, a no-fly zone over and around Venezuela. Of course, that has not affected Trinidad and Tobago in spite of our close proximity. And indeed, of course, that of Guyana, which of course has a border, eastern border with that of Venezuela. So So it appears that it is something that is being planned, but I cannot contemplate that the Prime Minister will request for a radar facility for the Tobago, and incidentally, it's a new airport, and you want, of course, the best facility, and not having a permanent let's say facility.
I don't
there.
think it's going up to come back down. I really don't think so.
So it may be a dual purpose. It might be multiple purpose, right, for the Americans and their intent. As I say, we cannot be naive. We are if the Americans are declaring, of course, a no-fly zone over in and around Venezuela, it is clear that what the possibilities are. But it does not mean that, of course, the radar facility that it would have been implanted or
that's so true.
Constructed.
But let me ask you something, Lennox. So that no fly zone there that is detected there now. So that means since we can hear when Donald Trump mentioned that means nothing could go in the air, nothing could go in or come out by air.
Yeah. That's
effectively
that. And of course, the major airlines have responded appropriately. I mean, after all, it's the United States. People can say what they want. It can be ideology.
So all airlines,
whatever it is. But the fact is that is the practical and pragmatic situation.
Right, but all
none of us could do anything about it.
Right, so all airlines, all, whether it's domestic, nobody could fly.
Yeah, well, what has happened, it has triggered, of course, obviously a resentment in Venezuela and the regime. So what has happened is that they have written to OPEC of all people. When I saw it, I say it might have been the Organization of American States. But then I realized that they have withdrawn from that. So they write to OPEC as if OPEC could do something about it. But I suppose it's part and parcel of the public relations and the propaganda in defense of something that clearly
right.
is
So
in
when
the
I write
hands
to
of
OPEC,
the Maduro administration to resolve.
Right,
All he has to do is to call free and fair elections or simply disappear.
All right. Well, look, 007 is saying, Andy, certain airlines, not all. So that's why check up on that there from Lennox Smith. Let me take a next call by time there quick.
Well, whether it's certain airlines or not, I mean, that to me is irrelevant. If another state, powerful as the United States is, calling for another country to have a no-fly zone, it shows either the extension or the projection of power, and of course if some airlines are responding, then it just exacerbates that power that they have influenced or have been exerting on another sovereign country.
All right, hold 1 minute.
And to me, that is the important thing. To have the audacity to say no fly zone over Trinidad and Tobago, or no fly zone without the permission or consent of the government of that country. It demonstrates a certain kind of audacity, if I want to call it that.
All right, go ahead, caller.
A pleasant good morning, Andy Ann Brown here.
Go ahead, Ann Brown.
Welcome back, Mr. Lennox, director, and all on the live stream. Good morning, Mother Bernie. Thank you for that reporting. Miss Anna, Miss Woodbrook, Miss Shogunas, Mr. Barapon, Mr. Junapuna. I want Mr. Tabakit. I fully endorse your clarion call. We have to continue to stay focused and ensure that our government's agenda does not get derailed with propaganda from the propagandist machine. As activists, we will not allow our government's good governance to be stopped. Moving on, what's the purpose of having a radar in any country? I am just going to outline 6 points on this topic. A radar is used in countries to detect, track, and monitor activities in an airspace, at sea, or on land. Its purpose Its main purposes are, and I will outline 6 of them. National security detection, detects aircraft, missiles, and potential threats entering the airspace of any country. 2, aviation safety, helps air traffic controllers guide aircrafts and prevents collision. 3, maritime monitoring, it helps with the tracking of ships and protect coastal waters. 4, forecasting identifies storms, rainfalls, and severe weathers for early warning. 5, border and law enforcement, monitors illegal crossing and suspicious movements. 6, military operations to support surveillance, targeting, and battlefield awareness. Overall, a radar helps keep a country safe, secure, and well informed about what is happening around us, within our borders, and its environment. For too long, our country's borders were left open and unprotected, and this is my opinion here. I fully support us having a radar in this country. Thank you, gentlemen, and have a blessed day.
Thank you very much. But just school persists that radar is not for ships. But my good friend who called in earlier, the Mr. Controversy, is technically saying it's both for ships and air. Lennox Smith said the same thing too. But let's continue. Let's take the call. Go ahead, caller. Short and sweet. Morning.
Morning.
Go ahead, morning, caller.
Yeah, morning. This is Orlando.
Yeah, Orlando number 2. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Andy, Mr. Lennox, Mikey K. I like the program. It's very good, interested today. It make a lot of sense that people knowing what the radio is all about, and we trying to understand that they say Venezuela is our neighbor, right? And we have neighbors living in Laventille, living in Beetham, and they're fighting. So I think we should put a radar in the middle of the highway to see which one of them coming across with a gun and which one is fighting up in Laventille, which one is doing the bad thing. So we need a radar in the eastern main road and one on the southbound. So we could manage our crowd, so we could know, well, look, you see this? These guys moving with ammunition. We could stop them before they start. There's a war going on with the drug trade in the sea, right? And not many people die, but in Trinidad there were 600 people died because we didn't have a radar to see where these guys going. They toting a gun, and we can't even pick it up. Police can't even know what they're toting. So if we have radars to deal with these areas, they call Laventille, they call East-West Corridor. We are all neighbors. We're not supposed to fight, but we're fighting for Venezuela as we neighbor. Right here, we have problem with the neighbors. You can't come out in the night and watch out by your neighbor window. You have to go back inside. It's not fireworks here in there. It's real things going on. So we need to get things working right in our own system here. Put a radar up in Laventille, you're going to know who getting out today with a gun, and it could pick up ammunition. That will pick up ammunition, perfect as ever. So the minute the police want to stop them, when they see the radar is on, they know, well, something here. We won't come through here. So this is what happened. The radar is for ground and air and sea. That's what they use a radar for. And your program should be now ground report and air report and sea report. Extend your program to a higher quality so we can know, well, yes, this program is going the right direction. Because none of them other radio stations, all they're talking about is who could drink more rum and who could fat more. This is the wrong thing. Right now we have a problem, and your name is half already. Ground report, we need an air report and a sea report. You're doing the correct thing, you and Lennox. And I admire you guys for that, because we need one to separate look how simple it is. We don't have a war here and so many people has died. from ammunition. So we have to have some system in place to figure out where these guys passing with these guns in the night and where they heading to. And that will solve the problem.
All right.
Because people don't understand that a war is not in the sea, is not in the thing. We have a war right on the land here.
Thank
So we
you.
can take a radar to solve that problem.
All right, thank you very much. Next caller. Morning caller, where you calling from? What's your contribution on the ground
And I
report
want
this
to thank
morning?
the caller for his comments about our commitment and our focus.
Yes, yes.
Go ahead,
Very
caller.
good program this morning. Go ahead, caller.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Lennox. Barack Poor here.
Good morning.
Andy, you see, this is the problem with Trinidad and Tobago. You see, when you're accustomed living with everything that was wrong before, everything that contributed to our society that was illegal, now doing the right thing and putting the right infrastructure in place for this country would be a big hindrance to the people who survive and live off of those illegal means. The two worst things could have ever happened to Trinidad and Tobago was the PNM and drugs. And people don't understand how perfect Trinidad is for this drugs cartel organization. Like the mainstream drugs cartel that comes from Colombia, Mexico, through Venezuela, and into Trinidad. Because we have one of the most perfect location in the world, especially with our seaport and our airport, combined with the corruption that takes place with these people and that manages it, to allow this kind of illicit chain of selling drugs out into the Americas and Europe and all these kind of thing. And people could say what they want. They could talk whatever they want. Whatever radar system, no matter what it monitors, who it monitors, it is always beneficial. And it is something that is good for our country and its development, its defense. Let's say, why does the world invest so much money in outer space to monitor what? Do they have aliens? Do we know that they have aliens? But they're spending millions and millions of dollars to find out if it have alien life form outside here. We in Trinidad and Tobago have an issue with just putting up a little radar to monitor what we know that is happening in Trinidad. Now, people could talk all kind of nonsense. If a country decides that here what, they want to stop a drug trade, they would do it. The government would do it. But Maduro and them deliberately contributes to allowing drugs enter the Europe and United States. They know and they facilitate that. They do this and they can't see beyond their nose. They're balling China and Russia supporting Venezuela. But anybody that's go and try to find out what kind of laws China and Russia have where drugs is concerned, they don't allow that at all in their country. All over they legalize marijuana. It is illegal in China. It is illegal in Russia. Cocaine is illegal in China. Cocaine is every type of drugs is illegal in these two countries because they know the devastating effect these type of drugs have with citizens in their country. So they're supporting Maduro. They're trying to say that, oh, okay, it's war and it's sovereignty and all this kind of thing. Well, tell Maduro, make these things illegal in their country. A basketball player from the United States enter Russia with the cannabis oil because of a medical condition, and she was put in jail and arrested over there. But the same Russian people could allow them citizens to come to America and other country to smoke weed free. And that is the point where people are understanding. And the thing about it too, they're talking about Trump want Venezuela oil. So what it is China want, what it is Russia want, and it is the same oil. So if Trump want the oil, I'm not wrong. So it's right with China and Russia wanting the oil. So people have to think a little bit and understand what is taking place. The only benefit Trinidad and Tobago and the rest of the world could have is that they get rid of Maduro and let a little democracy start. We are talking on this is about sovereignty and all this kind of thing. How much people in Trinidad and Tobago they stand up for the sovereignty of this country? Look, as soon as they hear something happen, a set of them talking about Maduro invade here, what could happen to this, Rowley them holding press conference and what they have talk with Venezuela and all this kind of thing. And them just talk sovereignty. We have to be real in this country. We have to understand how deadly and dangerous drugs is. And let me don't focus of what if and what and whatever. Let's focus on what happened to Trinidad and Tobago. For how long we know drug existed in this country and how devastating and the type of destruction drugs have caused. You feel the crime in Trinidad and Tobago is people just deciding to rob people and things. The main contributor to that is that same thing they call drugs. That is entire Trinidad and Tobago. And if Maduro and them were so concerned and want to be friends with Trinidad and Tobago and protect our waters and things, Maduro would ensure that his borders was protected properly and people would not be leaving Venezuela, and all these drugs that comes into Venezuela and is produced in Venezuela should not be entering Trinidad and Tobago, a little country like Trinidad and Tobago. He should be monitoring all the guns that he's arming his citizen with, that doesn't leave Venezuela and come to destroy our little country, Trinidad and Tobago. And then we would be a good neighbor.
Thank you.
You can tell me I am a good neighbor with my neighbor, but everything that I do, destroying them, but I want to say, hey, how you going neighbors and hug up and kiss at the end of the day? No, that can't work. People have to be real in this country. I support Trump 100% to wipe out that terrorist, that narco trafficker, and that maniac. Have a good morning, Andy. Take care, man.
Thank you very much. Oh boy, someone here said, Fox Islamist said, selling of and using drugs is illegal in Venezuela. So he's answering back Mr. Barpo. So he's saying selling and using drugs in Venezuela is illegal. The country has strict anti-drug laws with severe penalties for both drug trafficking and possession. Right? So that was the answer back to that with Fox Islam. Right, short and sweet caller. Morning.
The simple response to that is that we too have that, but do we have a drug problem?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Let me use a hypophoria, it is called, where I asked a question and answered myself.
Yes. Go ahead, caller.
Good morning, Lennox. Good morning, Andy. Lennox, I passed and check your Friday, but I was out and about. I can surface and check it today, bye. Hello?
Lennox.
Lennox?
KFC say he passed and checked it Friday, but you heard he was out and about. So you would like to know if you could surface and check it today.
Yeah, definite. Come earlier because you know how it is. I want to tap that thing and get out of here. Yes, so come.
I remember that.
My apologies for not being here, but circumstances beyond my control, boy.
Go ahead, caller. Next caller, morning.
Yeah?
Next caller, go ahead. Go ahead, next caller.
Andy and the next morning. Andy, I just want to congratulate you on a good job for getting another Rottweiler dictator out of the Caribbean. You hear? That was a very good job. And I congratulate you again for getting another Rottweiler dictator out of our Caribbean countries. And talking about the radar and thing, America don't need put no radar on no little island, boy. The amount of warship, the kind of radar them have in them warship, they will monitor China, which is on the next side of the world, everything they're doing. You hear what I'm telling you? They don't need no radar here and there and all kind of stupidness we're trying to talk about. You hear, Andy? So that is nonsense about this and that. America the kind of radar, as I say, them worship and them have there. They will monitor anybody, any part of the world, or even out on space. You hear?
Thank you very much. Let me say thanks to Lennox Smith also you the people that made it possible for me to go across there. Also the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines that was totally fed up. Also Arnold Roberts had a very serious input in all of that there too. So many of us had an input in what I deem.
And of course, there are some things that they may not know. There were some that were dissuading us. Saying that, of course, it is too volatile. The way that and I sent a clip to enforce or reinforce what I'm saying here from the words of Gonzalez himself, who said that after he would have been crowned the prime minister and have a deputy prime minister, he will go to St. Lucia. And they were accusing him of, the opposition there was accusing him of interfering with their elections, according to the opposition in St. Lucia. Well, he got some of his own medicine and he refused to take it.
Aye. Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Morning. Lennox, I want to clear up a misconception. You say that radar is to monitor land, air, and sea. But you ever hear the term flying below the radar? Radar, to monitor low level, it has to be line of sight. Once you're around the curve, radar can't pick you up. Depends on if you're not using satellites to help you. Right? So flying below the radar eliminates all those small boats and them. They can't pick up that to start with. So that radar is not to monitor no sea.
If you're talking from an expert perspective, well, I'll accept. But if you are merely speculating or based on your
no, this is not speculation, Reid. This is not speculation,
I respect that, but certainly you had to tell me that all of the high class installation in Iran, they weren't able to detect those bombers that went
because they had Lennox in Iran, if you want to get specific, it had sabotage going before the flights come in. They sabotage the detection systems. And they sabotage the S-300 system. That is inside the country, not from outside. The Israelis get in there and sabotage these defense systems. That's why the bombers could have come in and do what they had to do. Because Iran, to start with, do have an air force. They depend on missiles. They have radars. But they sabotage those things. That's why the bombers come in. Why they go back in? And they say, for the months now, they threaten to go back in because they have S-400 on the ground now that the Russians supply them with and will pick up anything coming in there now. Same thing it have in Venezuela, Solia. It have S-300. I'm not sure if they get S-400 yet, but there are S-300 defense systems in Venezuela. That's why America don't want to go in the air or on land, because Venezuela have hypersonic missiles. Remember I telling you that hypersonic missiles, it have no defense system that America have that could defend against hypersonic. That's flying faster than you could react. And America do have hypersonic. All them boats outside there, if they attack them with hypersonic missiles, all of them boats is Davy Jones' locker.
Where the hell, boy? There's a military man here, boy. Like there's a scientist, boy.
But to me, my common sense will tell me first and foremost, the Venezuelans can't afford the numbers that would be required. That's the first and foremost.
Okay.
Of course,
I will
the warheads of these let's say rockets will have to be will have to be quite numerous, and therefore the cost by itself is prohibitive. Whether the Russians in themselves could produce it, or indeed send that or defend by way of a reason for Venezuela, I think is highly unlikely. Not the way that, especially how Maduro is very fidgety. I mean, if you have all that defense, We're going to OPEC now. OPEC has no military, what I consider to be prowess, but yet still you're begging them to. We're begging about stay there and wait. Or you could fire first because they are on your borders and eliminate them. Do it first. But that ain't happening.
They're out in international waters.
I love what you're saying, partners. But
Lennox, let me talk to now.
And therefore,
they're out in international waters. America trying to
regime will change in Venezuela.
Right, listen to him there now, Lennox. Go ahead, caller.
That is only if the Venezuelan people want a regime change, partner. America have no right to decide who is the government in Venezuela. That is up to the Venezuelan people.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
I'm
glad you mentioned that.
The Americans in international waters. The Americans in international waters. Venezuela not going to attack them. What America trying to do is to instigate a reaction from Venezuela.
The vast majority of Venezuelans don't want a regime change.
No.
You really believe that?
I believe that. Yes, because the people who want the regime change is the people who are working with the oil companies.
Wait, both of you can't talk together. You can answer. Yeah, he said one by one.
8 million leave.
Just so Lennox it coming across.
Come on.
Right. So Lennox don't say
8 million leave. 8 million leave because of sanctions that America put on them. America tried to change the government. America put in a man who didn't want to put a man as president who didn't fight the election. And now the next election they call now America want to say the results not not legal. Who is America to decide what Venezuela election result is? Who is America decide what Venezuela result is?
All right, thank you very much. Let me take a next call there. Go ahead, next caller, morning.
Andy, morning. Andy, the gentleman who debated with Lennox there, he talking crap. To begin with, he talk about the both of them could go under the radar. The boat has to be equipped with that to go under the radar. Because when planes flying under the radar, they equip with that to fly under the radar. Secondly, he talking about America want to go for the oil. What China and Russia want? Not the oil too? What China and Russia want, Andy? Not the oil too? So they talking crap. And he just trying to give the impression that he's so versed in what he's speaking about. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The boats or the planes have to be equipped to fly under the radar. That is what they have to be equipped with. They just can't fly under the radar there, so. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Citizen Nobody, go ahead.
Morning, everybody. So I really wanted to get in on this radar thing, and you had two callers this morning. The guy who kind of started the controversy, I'll deal with him just now. But strangely enough, it is Mr. Controversy who normally doesn't stir up things. He actually spoke a lot of good truth this morning. So I want to back up Mr. Controversy. It is a military radar. It's the U.S. Marines Corps radar, and it is a military radar. And, you know, for those who saying it will be staying here, no. It's a portable radar system, right? And they tend to set up these systems when they want to defend an area, when they suspect because of any conflict that's going on, a particular land space will be threatened. So they set it up as a shield. They don't need it for their operation. You have something like 8 Alibo-class destroyers and 2 cruisers and the world's largest aircraft carrier. They have something called the ANSPY 6 radar. It's the most sophisticated radar in the world. You can use that to shoot down satellites. They don't need a land-based radar for their operation. So clearly for me, as a nobody looking on, that is to shield us from any fallout. Okay? So the chap who called earlier this morning and try to make to frighten people basically. The Venezuelans have no capability to strike that radar or Trinidad in general. We talk about the Su-57s. The Russians have 12 of those, half of them ain't working. It's their version of the stealth fighter. It doesn't work very well. The Americans have hundreds of them, and in the region, some like 40. So there's no comparison. The point is, regime change almost certainly is the goal. But it's not what you think. Because everybody has no regime change when it's the Americans involved. Right? Just like the chap who called earlier this morning. But they would be fine with regime change involving Russia, China, and Iran, which happened in Venezuela 20 years ago. 20 years ago, they installed that guy there and have forcefully kept him in power. That is why a quarter to a third of Venezuela have fled. Right? What the US will be doing now is almost certainly trying to reverse that. But it will be just merely backing the millions of Venezuelans who want to do it themselves. They're not going to go in there and invade. All they're going to do is say, we are off the coast here, you do your thing inside there. That is what is going to happen. Okay? We need to stop pussyfooting around this. But the radar is not part of that operation. For me, looking at it, it is as a shield for Trinidad and Tobago as that operation is going on. And as soon as everything is over, it's going to leave. Just like Mr. Controversy says. It's a funny day when I have to agree with him, but I do agree with him this morning. And as far as, you see, Mother Bernie, you know, the old people have wisdom. Eh? Mother Bernie said it the best this morning. The executive authority of Trinidad and Tobago is titular, the Prime Minister. Meaning executive decisions, which include military and defense and all kind of things, resides in the Prime Minister. At times, those kind of decisions must be kept closed doors, okay?
Yeah,
it's necessary.
Mother Bernie said that, yeah.
Right? Right? The Chief Secretary of Tobago is not part of the executive branch of Trinidad and Tobago. He does not have to be informed, okay? And quite frankly, even if whether he was or not is kind of up for debate, but the point is, in these sort of matters, the executive authority is who is responsible for it. And nobody else necessarily needs to know. It's a defense issue. So we have to consult with people if we're going to put a military radar in Tobago to shield us from any fallout from anything happening in Venezuela. No. That's not how it works. Okay? And that's the problem with our people. They don't understand the basics of these things. And anybody can then, you know, bring to them some conspiracy that this is right and this is wrong and all this thing. No, that's not how it works. And certainly the Americans would not have, again, use it as a shield. I think it's a shield for us. They would not have done all that if they knew it would have to go through all this sort of tossing and thing. So understand what is going on, people, and deal with the reality and stop being led by a whole lot of conspiracies. Right? And Andy, by the way, good work in St. Vincent. I know you had an effect. I know, funny enough, St. Vincent probably gets it more than us now. You see that 14-1? It demonstrates that the people of St. Vincent understand
yeah, boy.
that this issue with Venezuela, because Ralph Gonzalez is back in Venezuela all the way. It had to be that enough Vincentians say, no, we disagree with you on that. That is why part of his curtail was booked. Not the whole curtail, but part of it. And we here in Trinidad still trying to discuss whether or not what we should be doing in Venezuela. Okay? Anyhow, thanks for the take, Nicole.
Yeah, and you're so correct. The people of St. Vincent recognize the clip, the Caribbean clip, the Ralph Gonzalez, the Rowley, the Mia Motley, the whole clip that's supporting Venezuela. They are well educated and accurate with it. Yep, them not supporting no Venezuela at all. They are on the side, the people of these small islands is on the side of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, not Venezuela in no way. Not Maduro in no way. Come, real, people saying play all their voice notes. Wow, and we had to go, eh? We have
Rowley and the type like Gonzalez, they are more ideologically aligned, but in terms of practical and serving their people, I think that becomes secondary. We have seen that over the years that has evolved, and so they're reaping the meteoric price in terms of rejection by the populace in popular
Change to the new one.
electoral processes.
Yes. Go ahead, caller.
Hi. Good morning to the Ground Report. Good morning to Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, Mikey K. Brandy here. I'm just calling to contribute that, to me, what I recognize is that the people of Trinidad and Tobago, a lot of them, they do not respect our Prime Minister. If they had respect her and respect the regime, they would not be saying the things they're saying and want to know this and want to know that. When PNM was for the 9-10 years, all was asking Rowley what he doing and what is for and what that for. Listen to me. Our Prime Minister is protecting Trinidad and Tobago. It has things she cannot tell us. You see how they aborted the Independence Parade? You think she do that for style? All these things was done to protect us. You think Mother and them now talking? Mother and Storchum and them had the plan. But it has God in the midst and God who protects us. So all relax all the time and let the government do the business in Trinidad and Tobago. It's all about protecting the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you very much. Oh boy.
Morning, Andy. Now last call are talking about Venezuela, do our regime change the people. He's a PNM. You could hear it in his voice. He's a Rowley.
Go ahead, voice
Hi,
notes.
morning, guys. Oh my goodness, these people in this country don't want, improvement. They don't want the situation in this country that was so bad for 10 years to change. Now we're looking for a better day. We're looking to live better, and changes have to be made. They're still in this backward, low-life thing. Everything this government try to do is a negative, negative, negative. Well, let me tell all you this now. You see what happened for the past 10 years there? You see how much thousands of people get killed? You see how it has no law and no law and order in this country? You see how the PNM government was controlling every institution in this land and letting everybody do what they want, how they want, when they want, and destroy the economy and the people and everything in this country. Hey, all you get it. That done. That done. Get used to good governance. Get used to having things done in a proper way, and get used to all the laws and everything now being enforced in this country. Get used to it. You understand? And let me tell all you, if this government allow America to put up the radar or whatever with the radars, and all you, who in all your underhand dealings in one way or the other, find the negative, radar shouldn't be there, and that is the big controversy now with all your super haters. Well, let me give all you an advice this morning. All who don't want the radar there, and all who find America shouldn't have put the radar there, and the radar. Hey, let me tell you this. All you get together and go and move the radar. Go and move it today. Blessings, people.
Oh, shit.
Frank talk. Don't talk. I like that.
Andy, good morning. Andy, I didn't feel like calling this morning. But after hearing that guy, I had talks about fighter jets and Venezuela. And this guy is a dummy? Is this guy stupid? Is he a fool? Is he a buffoon? Brother, let me tell you something. You don't know what you're talking about. You have no clue what you're talking about. So the best thing for you is shut your mouth and stay off the people radio station. Because you're strong and they can really not know nothing. You're a fool, fighter jet. What man, one bomb in Venezuela, the whole people will crumble. You fool. You kept calling the radio station. I didn't talk to somebody time that I get a headache hearing you. Okay?
Cassava man, good morning to you, Cassava man.
Please, that donkey who called you and tell him, he don't know what a radar could detect anything from any part of the world, wherever it's going. Look at the Indian that man is from. That man's talking like he was in school in the Lavas. Hey, you were in school in Beta, boy. What a clown. Andy, one more thing. And I forget one thing. Andy, my uncle, used to work for BWI. He was away. He used to work in the tower. aviation specialist. He was the aviation man, one of the top men in the aviation. My uncle, he studied in America and then did not take up a job in American Airlines when he wrote his exam. He went back to Trinidad and worked for BWIA. And he used to work in the tower. He was the aviation, one of the aviation guys in the tower in BWIA in Trinidad. Hey, Andy, morning again. Andy, the same guy who called back and said cytophonic and whatever phonic and hydrophonic, and he need to go read some book. Andy, my nephew worked for Lockheed Martin. And my nephew was software engineer for Lockheed Martin. And the kind of things he is designing and they are designing in China, Russia, I've never seen. It's a lot got a heart to shut him up. You know, we're talking about it. Okay, Andy? Later, bye.
Andy, Lennox, good morning. I stand to be corrected. When Delcy Rodriguez and she whole delegation land in Trinidad in the heights of COVID with a sanctioned aircraft and met with Stuart Young and Keith Rowley at the diplomatic center, how long after was a boat intercepted going up the north coast with $160 million worth of cocaine? You remember that? I stand to be corrected, eh? It wasn't too long after they left Trinidad, right? So check on that. Where was that drugs headed for? $160 million worth of drugs. So, and also, who informed the Coast Guard to intercept the boat?
Andy, pleasant morning again, brother. Andy, that radar is for both air and sea, right? The military is not building a radar only for the air. If a missile should come out of a submarine, let me just put it in this way. If Russia should get involved and have submarine and a missile, or Venezuela have a submarine and a missile should come out from the water,
That should.
the radar is to detect the location at which part this missile come from and where. You understand? This is the thing that these missiles for. So sea, land, and air. That is the purpose of the missile. So who's saying it for boat and it for this? Oh God, all you understand what's going on now, modern technology. You feel America making any missile and it's just for the sky alone? Come on, Trinidad and Tobago and Dr. Rowley and Maduro, they look for that. Maduro look for that. He point him out. He make Dr. Rowley influence him to topple the administration, to destabilize the administration. And he bite off more than he could chew. If he did only see Donald Trump would have been coming down after that, what he say about a stack of arms and he encountered a set of terrorists and a set of paramilitary and everything. And yes, he caused that. And Rowley and Arawi say when they lost the election, they're giving Kamala Prasad this administration 12 months on his war. Well, look what they asked that. They asked that, so I want to say again, thank you, Mama, for protecting your people. Thank you.
Good morning to the ground report. Only a set of panic button they're pressing in the damn place. Whatever going on. Once Maduro don't touch a live phone call so the American could track him, he's going to be in the free until all the leaders that America wanted. The mistake came when they went on a live phone call. Any phone call, go to them direct, go to Maduro direct, or Maduro call anybody direct, and his voice identified, that's how they go dig him out. But otherwise than that, once Maduro stay away from cell phone and landline and all them things, they can't track him. So all these kid tactics the PNM people using that making no sense. We just have to wait it out in America. We have to wait it out. America will not endanger the country like that. They're just making it unsafe for those who are doing the drug trafficking. That is what's going on. And the human trafficking, it's unsafe for them. And it might be unsafe for the PNM supporters and them who supporting Maduro right now. All on a sudden. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. All they look at wax up for this. I listen to them all in the community trying to spread this kind of propaganda like if something go happen and something. All Maduro has to do is play mad and go on a phone. And they will track him and find him just like all the other leaders. How Bin Laden get it, how Saddam get it, all of them get it by phone call. All they do all the history now, man, and all you wasting people blast the time. Morning.
Morning to the magnificent tree. Mr. Smith, boy, that radar better they knock out that radar because that radar ain't working, boy. Because if they could allow that man to talk so much at without that radar picking up, if that radar is picking up, Kamala will hit that man one come and call him straight in the Venezuela. Good morning to you again. I just want to say this. I forget to say this to the magnificent tree. You know, the only thing I'll be concerned about if in the village I live in do have a cemetery. And so long as it have a cemetery, me and have no problem. Because I know I come here to make stone. So if you want to be frightened about that and you go live here forever, if this happen, if war come, if that, I know, even say war come, I had to go. And I could remember just recently in the COVID time, is over 4,000 Irish citizens lost with life just so. I could remember just recently, 4 men was in a pipeline and the government has sent nobody to rescue them and they lost their life just so. I could remember over $16 million spent on that same inquiry and the family of these people get a cent yet. So I will only have a problem if it handle cemetery around. Thank you.
Good morning, Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, Ground Report listeners. Good morning to each and everyone. Calling from Lupino. This morning, first and foremost, I would like to congratulate Mr. Friday on a resounding win in St. Vincent. And, I know the people was fed up at Ralphie. And, with Arnell exposing some of the corruption that is taking place with this man, I feel that was one of the factors. Not that he interfered, but he exposed some things that the people may have take note of, So I congratulate Mr. Friday. I also see that St. Lucia is having their election, I believe is today. So I just want to wish them all the best. And I know, again, I feel the yellow will be the victorious color, in that election because people just want change. They want somebody who, will deliver on their promise, just like our beloved Prime Minister is delivering on her campaign promise. And people talking about the stand your ground, people talking about noise pollution, and Ms. Bissessa campaign on these things. This is what the woman say she going and do, and people vote she. But the majority of people have problems with Ms. Bissessa delivering even the public servant. Imagine public servant getting 10 to 15%, and the PNM and them making noise about that. You understand where they getting money from? They didn't ask them all the time where Rowley's getting money to increase his salary.
We ain't going yet, Ole can hold on. We just playing out all the voice notes and them. So hey, stay locked on. Let's hear what some of the people, other people, front burners is. And this one here, he won't going real nice.
Where this one was getting money, where that one was getting money. They didn't want to know where no money coming from under PNM. You understand? But as soon as Ms. Bissessa would increase something, they want to know where we getting money. She go get the money. You understand? Don't worry with that. Everything is a problem. And I realize that the media in our country, boy, I don't know, like them is just wait to hear about something with this US and Venezuela to make an issue, boy. To just imagine a raid in Tobago is a big thing. To me, Mr. John Williams and Mr. Lennox, to me, Mr. Sasa need to stop every Monday morning replying to these people and them. Because it's a sort of propaganda every day and every day. You have to come and say, no, this is not so. No, this is not so. You understand? Every single day, the media is trying to do something about these bloggers and these false articles that some of the media pushing. You understand? Every day is some kind of headline concerning the US and Venezuela. And I want to say, the way how sometimes these media houses and in this frame thing, it's like them against America, you know. You understand? They are against what is taking place. They love what Maduro doing. You know, they love the pressure he put in. You know, I want the media to ask something. Hear what I want them to ask. Why, if Maduro so nice and so good, why thousands, even millions of people live in Venezuela? I want them to ask that question. Why people live in the thousands? Why in Trinidad we have thousands of illegal Venezuelans and we're trying to get rid of them and we can't get rid of them? Why? Because Maduro's so good. You understand? So I find it's time that Mr. Sala do all they have to do and forget every Monday morning coming and saying, well, this and that and the other. No, we didn't do that. You know what it should be the mantra? It's a national security issue and we can't discuss it. It's a national security issue and we can't discuss it. End that story. You understand? That should be the mantra from now on. You understand? So I want to say, Ms. Bisasa, you and the team will continue doing. Imagine this PNM government, PNM opposition, vexed, didn't support people who want to protect their property, boy. What kind of people is we have in the opposition that you don't want people to protect mothers and fathers to protect the family, man? You understand? So I am so, oh God, how you could find reasoning to believe these people care about you? This PNM people care about you. You understand? And I see Gary Abu lost his visa. Well, it have plenty place in Venezuela. You could go on vacation. It have Margarita, it have Caracas, and Maduro must have some resort there. You could go and relax yourself. You don't have to get no visa for that. Yeah, take care, brothers.
Hey, morning, Andy. Tell the US, tell everybody else in Trinidad, we want a radar in Trinidad too, down in the Cactus Point there. We need a radar down there too. So tell the US, please put up one up before we, okay? Thank you.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Lennox. Good morning, Mikey. Good morning, Trinidad Tobago. Good morning to everybody who's on the line. Andy, listen to this now. I hear some argument talking about concerning the radar in Tobago, about he won disclosure and then won disclosure and all this kind of thing. But when really that nasty, wicked, evil PNM with this evil prime minister that was in office, right? It was non-disclosure. Okay? I hear anybody complain. I hear anybody say a word. Everything that Rowley and that evil PNM did for the past 10 years was only secrecy, right? Non-disclosures and all kind of stupidness. I didn't hear anybody was complaining. But all of a sudden now, they put up, the Americans and then put up a radar in Tobago, and suddenly you want disclosure? Boy, Hall, what is wrong with all here? Just like CNC3 and TV6, I want to tell all of them, all that why people like myself that stay calling newspaper and use it for a dog to poo-poo on, because all this is a waste of time pushing this PNM agenda. Look, all here, Auntie Kamala, God bless you, woman. God bless you, Auntie. And Trinidad and Tobago, and God bless America.
Morning, Andy. Morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Andy, how these people so stupid? Are radar go affect Trinidad and Tobago? The radar is doing good for this country. It's only the PNMites and them will find the negative in it. They will find the negative in it. The radar doing nothing. The radar not doing nothing. Venezuela is a big drug narco trafficking thing, and Maduro is in there illegally. Or they play back the video where US file when U.S. Kerry Maduro to court in New York since 2022 or 2023, and that is from then and then where they grant sanction, where they find drugs. He was charged for drugs trafficking. Play that now. So I can this whole thing going out of point. You understand? The man is dealing in drugs and he's trafficking drugs, right? Right? Play back the video from the beginning when he went to court in America and when he was sanctioned in I think in 2022 or something so.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Godman. Listen to Faisabad. Let me tell you something. He's talking facts. Let me tell you something. I live in the United States. Right? Faisabad will live there. But Faisabad talking facts. Let me tell you something. If Raleigh had win this election, all the cook. Because he would have implied sanction on Trinidad and Tobago. You wouldn't be able to get no US dollars. You wouldn't be able to travel into the United States. You wouldn't be getting no food from United States. You won't be getting nothing. Guess what? You won't be having no Christmas. Right? You will be dependent on Venezuela and China and all of them to give you food. If it's so, and once you are sanctioned, nobody can be able to give you anything, just like Venezuela. Take note. So who is talking up against United States? Guess what? Think what you're talking and think what you're thinking and then talk. Right? So backpedal on that and think what you're saying. Right? Look at the state of Venezuela. You're becoming worse than that. You'll be eating off a damn garbage can. Trust me, that can.
Andy, good morning. Kumoto here.
Kumoto morning,
Welcome
man.
back. Wrong report, get back such life. And you did a wonderful job out there in St. Vincent. You removed that rowdy friend, that crook, that bastard, that man that say, 3 house, one for son, one for wife, and one for his school child. Well, Andy, this reader they're talking about in Tobago is not everything this government could tell the public what's taking place. Why? If Rowley could tell us and the PNM could tell us what Delcy Rodriguez did bring in that red box, we will then tell them about the reader. But it looked like that reader already picked up what was in that red box. Take care, Andy. Come out.
Good morning, Andy. I was listening to the program this morning. Our KFC said
oh boy, just about 2 more voice notes. the program this morning. Our KFC says it's true because I applied for my pension since May month and I get through. I get her number, her office number, calling her, she never answer. Well, I get her cell number, send her text, she never respond. So I don't know what to do. This month, November, the 21st of November was 6 months. On the 21st of May, I have the paper and everything. I just want to get rid of the pension so I could be able to buy my medication and buy my eye drop because they tell me when I went to the eye clinic I have glaucoma, so I had to buy the Xanatal. When I go in, they don't have it in the pharmacy. So, Andy, I don't know if Hope you can help me to get rid of the pension.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Nice. So all voice notes play out. Lennox Smith, your closing comments there.
Well, only to say it was very, very interesting this one. Of course, a
Really
bit
was.
argumentative,
Really
but always in hectic and dynamic spirit. And I mean, once we have these kinds of healthy debate, people may be strong in their positions, but at the same time, at the end of the day, we agree to disagree. As all about. Well, I want to say, of course, that the Americans do have hypersonic missile capability, both in terms of defense as well as offense. So let's get that clear. Of course, anybody could go and research that now, and you would see that is fact. So, and then of course, my position has always been nestled in a practical assessment situation. If these weapon systems as possessed by Russia and so on was so effective, then of course Ukraine is a stone's throw on the doorsteps. In fact, a boundary with Russia, but they're fighting a war about 3 years now and cannot conquer Kiev. They can't reach Kiev yet. So I am not. I'd far less to project, of course, power overseas as far as, of course, the Western Hemisphere. It's only the United States has that capability. They have bases all over. They have friends all over, etc. But not these countries. So I am not person. What I suspect that the Americans are being passionate about is that they don't want. They may assess already casualties on their side. And therefore, what they don't want is to unnecessarily put their soldiers in harm's way. That much I can say, because they're very meticulous about their armed forces and personnel. But outside of that, I don't think Russia equipment or Iran equipment or the presence of Cubans or indeed Wagner, which of course is the force that the Russians would use, could stop the Americans in their own backyard. That to me is fanciful, and the negativities followed for Trinidad and Tobago. I cannot see it. It is impossible.
So you see,
but what I want to say, however, is that the present Trinidad and Tobago government, they have taken full advantage of the presence and the circumstances that caused the Americans to be in these parts, and one has to commend Kamala Prasad Bissasa indeed, and the government for putting Trinidad and Tobago's interest first, not like the
right.
previous
So you read
where of course Trinidad and Tobago's interest was not being advanced.
So you said you read. You said you read.
We have
you said you read how America could defend itself against hypersonic missiles.
Yeah, hypersonic as well, and in fact, they have countered it with a powerful radar. They have a radar gun. It's something like a micro. You could, and of course, they mount it on one or two of their warships as well.
Okay, hold 1 minute. Go ahead, caller.
It's very difficult to really in any way challenge significantly the United States in any form. I mean, the Russians just, of course, disclosed about two new weapon system. One that could send some kind of vibration to your shorelines and generate a earthquake, that kind of thing. But they're not going to use it, because they know anytime they use it that they are finished. They know that. So whether first strike, second strike, they are finished.
All right, go ahead, caller.
The Americans, NATO, the Europeans, and so on.
Hold Lennox.
Come down.
Go ahead, caller.
Yeah.
Yes, this is Orlando again. Yeah, Mr. Andy.
Go ahead, Orlando. Make it short and sweet. We had to go. We had to wrap up.
Yeah. Okay, right. I think is Mr. Lennox is one of the most educated fella I think he could change the whole of the PNM system because they're thinking different, right? And if he open a school in all the PNM area and just he don't want no UNC, no other corp or nobody. He just want PNM people. And if he convert those PNM people, they will have a good life for the rest of their life. But I don't know what it is these don't want to understand. I think the only man could do that is Lennox, because Lennox could give them some big words and they don't understand it, and they will sign a paper and say, well, yes, we stop doing this. Because they go figure out that will be something that they're going to understand, because they don't understand when people talk to them the right thing. So the words that Lennox will give them, they will have to say, well, yes, this is it. This could be true. Lennox telling us the right thing. But this time they don't understand, but he could change them. Because I see where they need changing. Because this guy, Marvin, using the poor people as, or you could say, fooling the people from about 35 or 40 years, keep fooling the people. Don't give them nothing. And any good things come in, you get a raise of salary, you get 10% more, that is wrong. You're building a hospital, that is wrong. You're buying an ambulance, that is wrong. You're buying good ladders, not wood ladder, you're buying good ladders, steel ladders, that is wrong. Everything they say is wrong.
Thank you. Nice. So who you say quick, Lennox, before we wrap up, you mentioned something about some country have a equipment that can generate an earthquake, tsunamis and those things? Unmute. Unmute your mic and tell me what you're talking about. Unmute your mic.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
I was saying, yeah, the Russians say they have that capability. They have just discovered or unleashed about 3 different weapons, but they can't beat Ukraine yet.
But they can't beat Ukraine yet. Yeah, but
over 3
you
years.
was also saying that
even though they said when they amassed, of course, their military force using Belarus, which is closer to Kyiv than anywhere else, they didn't even enter Kyiv yet after 3 years. But they said it would have been over in 2 weeks.
Oh, so besides that, you say too that if they only use it, they're done after that, because it's only a one-time use, because after that America will hit them very hard.
Decimate them, yeah. And America, you see, America is the only superpower, really, that don't display what they have. You notice Russia will do it on occasions when it's special days. China will do it. North Korea and all will do it. But Russia doesn't have that military might display. They waited on them, and every time they invent something new, America always want to do it bigger and better and more powerful to always dominate. I mean, they are not planning. They are not planning a space force, a space force, something that you only see in the movies. A space force, and that is real. That is real, right? So I am not too impressed with those who have this fanciful perception that somehow the Americans, because they're toying with Venezuela at this point in time, they believe that they're fighting to go in there. They're fighting to go in from the point of view, as I said, they want to have as little casualties on their side as possible, because that is not a war that will not have the loss of human lives. But in terms of defeat and in terms of winning, clearly, right in their backyard. Come on.
Maduro is as good as Maduro is as good as gone.
Wishful thinkers and ideologists could say what they want.
So Maduro is as good as gone. It's just a matter of time. He's gone. He is gone.
Yeah. They're just toying with him.
All right, so Trinidad and Tobago, thanks so much.
They remind me. You know what they remind me of, Andy? Quickly, I think we could end on a little joke here. The propaganda minister for Saddam Hussein when of course he was in the hotel with all of the international journalists, he said, listen, the American forces are being repelled at the gates of Baghdad. Here the journalists in response, but I could almost feel the Americans inside here. They said next time they see him, you're gonna pick up and he flying out of Baghdad. I don't talk. You're not pick up, he flying out of Baghdad. All that talk, he talk. Yeah, so that's what I'm seeing here manifesting. So
and I am also seeing, you know, it has some people saying,
but that's what it is.
You know, it has some people saying that the Americans, well, this going to happen quick and then the Americans gone. I am saying it going to happen, but I'm not seeing them leaving no time soon, because with a change of regime, with a change of Maduro not being there, they will hang around to make sure that democracy continues in Venezuela, that the Venezuelan society don't break down, and to make sure nothing, they just wouldn't run away just so they'll still remain.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Andy, because that is crucial. I'm glad you mentioned that. But the Venezuelan situation is not as Afghanistan, where of course you have the Taliban and they will go into the hills and so on, then come and then recuperate and come again. But what you have is a silent, massive majority waiting to exhale. Is 8 million gone, that 8 million and more going back to Venezuela, plus who are in Venezuela. All that thing they're talking. The only reason why the people appear to be sedated and because of Maduro's force and his coercion. But if today or tomorrow Maduro himself is eliminated, I am seeing people because it happened before Maduro started.
Yeah, like in St. Vincent, they'll be all on the road celebrating.
Venezuela. Remember that people were protesting on a daily basis. You're telling me that those people now satisfied now that things has got worse. They're satisfied now and they love Maduro, they love the regime, and they're going to fight to the death to save Venezuela and the regime. Come on. Your common sense will tell you what the reality is.
Oh, you are so correct. People will celebrate like how they celebrate in St. Vincent.
That's
they
right.
blow horn, they celebrate, they jump whole night.
And in Iraq as well. You wanted worse than that. Iraq and Libya, Gaddafi. All of it's clear. That's how people would respond to being freed and liberated. Whether or not, of course, you'll have a successful country. Thereafter, it depends on the people and, of course,
who picking up after
the non-resurgence of certain elements that have strong arm tactics. Yeah.
Right, and that's why I say America will stick around, because they will want to make sure none of Maduro's regime strong men that under law that can still influence, that they dormant. So they will stick around for quite a while until they realize that the new government have total control of Venezuela, including the legal system.
But let me tell you this, what is important to us, and my heart is filled and run it over, is that Trinidad and Tobago will always be a beneficiary which way it goes. And thanks to Kamala Persad-Bissessar and the present government.
Yeah. Because in opposition, which will be the new government in Venezuela, will happy that we support in order for them to even reach the
dragon gas. They might tell me come closer to Venezuela and take everything and bring it here because they don't have the infrastructure. That is why I see it. So Trinidad and Tobago, pray. And of course, let's hope, because we are right. It cannot be that a small group of persons can take over any country. It doesn't matter. But in this case, is Venezuela, and they must dominate and eat all of the spoils of the land and suppress and oppress the vast majority. It's 8 million people leave of the 27 million population. Come on, man. Your common sense alone will tell you which stand you had to take. They tell me about leave them there. Leave them there for what?
That ain't making sense. Well, boys, you're trying to make all you could have lock on anywhere else, but you all choose the ground report. Thanks so much. We went late because, again, that's when they play off some voice. So it's the first time back with the full team. Today is Monday. But tomorrow, please God, we will be locking off at 9 a.m. After God family comes first, be safe on the nation roads. We look forward to meeting and greeting and talking with you all and sharing our morning with you all. Tomorrow morning, same time, same place, right here from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. We are out of here. Don't forget to look out for 648 television from 12 to 2. And don't forget tonight Corridor Transformation with yours truly, Lennox Smith, from 8 p.m. That's Corridor Transformation. We are out of here.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Bang, 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 bang.